Awesome. Hey guys, let me just wait for this to load properly so that we know that it is live on all three platforms where we're streaming. At least YouTube tells me we have an excellent connection, so that's good.
That's great.
I know, right? But then I watch previous streams and it's like my mouth is moving, but the audio is delayed, and I'm like,
Yeah,
Okay.
I know how it feels.
Yeah, and then I'm like, do I delete the stream, download it, edit it, and re-upload it? But then I'm like, no, but then I'm gonna lose all these views, you know? And I'm like, when did I start caring about views? You know?
And sometimes I'm reminded that back in time people used to write letters by hand,
Mhm.
and they valued it a lot. So maybe let it just be like that. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Um, so guys, my guest tonight is Nastia, as you can see from the thumbnail and her name and
Hey guys.
everything. So, can you introduce yourself, please?
So hi, I'm Anastasia, or as we say in Ukraine, Anastasia, and my surname is Vinichuk. I was born in Ukraine and lived there till I was 17 years old. Then I moved to Poland. Now I am 26 years old. I'm a licensed psychologist and crisis intervention specialist. I'm a youth worker, and I also coordinate efforts of a bigger foundation that is consists only of volunteers, and we create events both for youth and for adults, and we also cooperate with Polish organizations. And I live in Warsaw since 2016. Oh, I'm also in NAFO since summer 22, and I have been on the NAFO summit in Vilnius in 23. Uh, yeah, that was a great experience. So I'm also the original one with Żywczyk Fella. That's a lemon in uniform, and if you see others, they have stolen it. I value my avatar a lot. It was
Yeah,
drawn
yours
by,
is cool. Like,
yeah, yeah.
um, hey, oh, so Petroe, am I saying that right? I just like it because, let me get this. He included wine. We have to like someone who includes a wine
Yeah,
emoji.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's
And
it's mandatory.
I see he's from
Italy,
Italy. Yeah,
yes. So I actually had lasagna last night, so
very Italian. I
very
have
Italian.
I have olive oil in my fridge, so
Oh.
not in fridge. In fridge is bad. Yeah, it's somewhere over
In
there.
your cupboard, in your cupboard.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know, it was funny when I was like in primary school. I was telling like my family, I'm like, no, I'm gonna marry an Italian man because I like Italian food, and then he can just cook food. And my family, like, and friends, no one wanted to say anything, but they were like, yeah, no, it's kind of dumb to marry someone just because you like
I didn't see a problem here.
the food. And then I was like, wait, that's actually a good point. So I just learned how to cook myself.
Yeah, I always, it makes sense to marry someone who cooks, who
Yeah.
works as a dentist. As a dentist, this makes lots of sense because
Yeah.
he can always say stuff like, "Darling, for our another anniversary, I'm doing you this very extraordinary, pricey stuff for your teeth."
Oh no,
Yeah,
but I'm different. I'm like, I don't want to date a dentist because what if he's like, oh, you've got some plaque on your teeth and that's a cavity I can
let
see.
him clean it for you. Let him clean it for you. Be like, yeah, yeah, come, kiss it and sit closer, and then like do the cleaning.
Okay, cool. So free labor is what we're about here.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Got it.
actually, love comes in very different ways.
That's true. That's true. Your love is clearly your love language is acts of service, clearly.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, my mom, she has found her now husband, who is my
Mhm.
stepdad, and she has found him back in 2015 at the front line, and like it's a very romantic story. and their love language is basically lying on a couch together. Each one is watching their own stupid short videos, and they are, ha ha ha. Go get me like a sandwich. Go get me something sweet. Yeah, I'm on my way. Yeah, let's get out and like smoke together. You know, they stopped smoking before the invasion. They were like fighting it, but after the
Yeah.
invasion, they were like, we can't stop, sadly.
It's too stressful. Let's just start
Yeah, yeah.
smoking again.
And
Like I,
they
yeah.
enjoy having a cat. Like they sleep together, and a cat,
Uh-huh.
our very fat, big cat, sleeps between them like a baby.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so I see our awesome moderator Keith just posted your link to your organization. So can you tell me or tell us a bit more about what UFAM does?
Oh yeah, it's a very long story. Let me drink
Oh yeah, yeah,
a
rehydrate.
bit
It's
of
very
water.
important.
It's Polish water. So like, basically, concept has evolved through time, but back in 2022, I joined a project by the UNICEF contractor, and basically we had kinda it was like a lot of money for the job because usually it's much less paid. And we had our boss, and he said, I don't know, like do something for the kids. I'm very busy. Like you have guys money, like blah, 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 whatever. And we were like, I was 20, I was 23. My colleagues were more younger, and we just gathered kids, like children, teenagers, who were sitting at home and didn't have any social interactions in Poland. And our goal was not to integrate them with Polish kids because integration it requires much more resources from person. It was the first initial reason was to create them for them a net of support, like so they can connect with each other, basically to have friends, to build some new connections. And many children, by the time it was like different law in Poland, and they could stay at home and learn online from Ukrainian school. So in this way they had like 2 years of COVID, and then they had like 1 or 2 years staying at home and homeschooling, which was heavily affecting their development. And this is how it started. By the end of 2022, our organization said like, oh yeah, we like, guys, we have no money, sorry, say bye to kids, go on your way. And sorry,
It's
it's my
fine.
it's my grandma. Sorry, I
You
I,
can let her know. Don't worry. You can let her know.
I will tell her like I'm on an interview.
Yeah, tell her you're like being interviewed in English.
Oh, my parents still can't believe that I speak English. Like for them, it's a different type of achievement, and they are like you really speak English with other people, like without vocabulary. Yeah. So yeah, by that time, I was already creating some little projects for Ukrainians, mostly for civilians, and I had some people who trusted me, and I also had some like my saved money a little bit, and I just asked people, maybe you would like to donate to help us go on, because we had a place we could use, and we would like to continue our meetings. And yeah, people said yes. After a month or so, my old team came back to me. And during 2023, we were registering our own as a foundation, and we were working. For some time, we also were homeless, so like we asked other organizations to help us. It like didn't go well, but we had a place. And in
Yeah,
2000,
Radek told me some organizations weren't willing to help.
yeah, and in 2024, we parted our ways because my teammates they decided to do something different, and I was heavily concentrated on Ukrainian community. And by the time we have also connected with my current team, a much more bigger team of lots of Ukrainian volunteers. And I registered my own organization in 2024. It was called UFAM, and basically my friend has created it name because when I come to naming, I choose like very dumb different stuff. And he said like UFAM because in Polish UFAM it means I trust you, and it also
Okay.
is a shortcut from Ukrainian family. You know, UFAM.
Ah.
It has meaning, and I have chosen this for like the clover, you know, the lucky
Hmm.
one. I was like,
Yeah.
I just love this emoji, and I was like, yeah, let it be. And I was
You
like,
know what? I have to tell you, like, I used to do graphic design, right? And we had people who would come in like, I really love this symbol incorporated into my company's logo. But the funniest thing I had was we had a client who it honestly sounds like the start of a weird joke, right? So it was a Chinese lady, an Indian man, and someone from another country, right? So it sounds like these three people walk into a bar, like one of those kind of jokes, right? Like one of those jokes, okay? So our designers back then, they were doing the logo and they had a certain amount of stars around. It was like the African continent with stars around it. And the Chinese lady phones in a panic and she's like, no, 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 no. The amount of stars you have there is an unlucky number in my culture. Um, you have to remove that, change it, and this is the amount of stars I want around the African continent. And we're like, yeah, but that's going to mess up the symmetry of the entire design. And she's like, I do not care. I cannot have this amount of stars. You are hexing my business. And we're just like, okay. I guess she's getting like, I think it was like 8 stars she was getting from 11 or 13 down to 8. And we're like, this screws up our entire design.
yeah, like some people, they come very serious to numbers. I really don't
Mm,
get it, and I never, like, you know, all the astrology stuff never really bothered me. I treat it like a very funny way to spend your time
yeah.
because one of my friends, she believes in tarot, and every time she, like, you know, tries to predict my future, it sounds like it's gonna be very hard, then it's gonna be easier, then it's gonna be more difficult, and then it's gonna be easier. And I'm like,
That just sounds like life. Like,
yeah.
thanks for that contribution.
Yeah, so what UFAM does, so there is a concept in sociology, I don't know, like
Yeah, sociology. Yeah.
sociology, I just forgot how to pronounce. It's called third place, and it comes to we all as people in society have two main places: our home and our workplace. And for youth, it's, you know, school, university,
Mhm.
college, whatever. And to function as a happy human being, you also need a third place where you can basically exist, aside from being a student, from being a son, a daughter, a spouse, whatever. And modern cities basically lack these places because I don't know how it goes in your country, but in Poland, where do young people spend their time? They just hang out at shopping centers. And when I was younger, back in time, we were spending time at the streets, on the streets, at the hood, you know, like, yeah, we were
Like
just
gangster rap levels.
we were just basically very poor, and we didn't have any shopping centers. So that has, you know, cured the problem on itself. And what Farm does, it's a place where they can come after school or whatever they do, because some of them, they had to leave school to work, sadly. Like, I currently have 3 of them who can't continue studying, like even basic school stuff,
Mm.
because they have to work to provide to their families, and 3 of them, they're not even 18 years old. And they come to our place, and these days we finally have a a fully functioning kitchen, and we cook together. So they have some this preparation for adult life. They learn how to cook. They learn what they can do with food, because apparently not many of them know the basic, safety procedures that are related to food. We cook together. Sometimes we go shopping together before cooking. We have board games, and we basically create a space where they can communicate, meet each other. I teach them those basic communication skills that were lost sadly during 2 years of COVID and 1, 2, or more years of homeschooling. And because that they were lost of this time between, they had to leave Ukraine and then find their place here. And sometimes we also organize like specific events, like some workshops, or we go to museum, or we have some classes about history, art, whatever. And because I'm also a psychologist, they know that there is also this option where they can come to me and ask for support. And usually I try to find them a place with a steady support. Lots of different foundations offer it. But now, sadly, because the US aid is closing and going down, they're getting like less and less such places, and it's a pure disaster because one of my colleagues in our bigger foundation, Territorium Kobiet, it's translated as territory of women, but we also have men there. And she works in a very big charity, and she deals with very stressful cases. And because of US aid being closed, there are gonna be many sad stories, because many people, they are in very bad situation due to their health, mental struggle, because they have lost everything and they have no source of support. So, like, UFAM is basically a third place for youth, a place when you can get crisis help support, like if you have some suicidal thoughts, or like if you dealing with something and you can't afford to go to a psychologist, or if you like need some help with your parents, or just to chit chat with me about what's difficult. Like, you know for me to offer a real like psychological meeting, we must reserve a time. And sometimes it just happens during the meeting, like we cook together, and I just ask like how your day went, how are your parents doing. If I know that parents live in Ukraine, and sometimes they tell me like, a place near my home was bombed and like it was destroyed, or like the school I was going to was damaged. And
You
sorry.
can answer if you want. We can mute you and then you
Oh,
can answer.
actually, I don't want to. Uh, yeah, sorry. It's my teammate, the one who works in a big charity. Yeah,
Sorry,
and
I just want to interrupt you for a short second. Guys, just a reminder, we are still raffling the RPG 22, the signed tube from Viper. Tickets for that is $500 each. It's a lot of money, I know, but it will continue for a month or two, that fundraiser. But even then, if you don't have $500, please still donate. We need it.
donate, please, because if you don't donate, I can say bad stuff about Russians here. Yeah,
Yes, you can. You can. I also say it.
kill Russians because they are bad. Kill Russians because my kids are going through severe mental crises because of Russians. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, that's it.
I actually want to talk to you about that. And I know you were going one way, but now we're going this way. So we'll come back to where you were. But you and I were talking, and I remember seeing it on your Twitter a while ago, where you guys will, like, our viewers will remember when Russian drones entered Poland from Ukraine. And I saw some Polish people who were like, this is Ukraine's fault. Why did they not shoot it down? I'm like, bruh. So that aside, okay, I remember you talking about it on your Twitter and saying that your students found that really your kids, not your students, but your kids found it really difficult. And I can imagine it must have been difficult because they came to Poland, they thought they were safe. They thought they were safe from Russian aggression. And then all of a sudden they hear air alerts and there are Russian drones. So can you tell us a bit about that and about what they told you about that, how it was for you to experience that, and how you kind of helped them deal with that? Because I cannot imagine the fear that they must have felt.
Like for me, it wasn't like really surprising. I have been expecting something like that for a very long time, and at the same time, it was very painful to feel this once again. Like everything is being, nothing is stable, nothing is safe, and for teenagers, it was really difficult. Some of them, they don't follow the news. They are very severely detached from what is going on, and it's okay for them because they need some time to collect that energy. And some of them were very stressed because some of them were very close to the place where they could hear air alerts. And it was like, I was just saying that yes, there are drones, and like for now it seems that like that everything is okay. And the most disturbing scene was that they, like, there were no clear instruction at first, and our kids are very used to like getting those clear instructions.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my teenagers, she's studying at a like Polish class, and they have only Poles, and she said that she felt like kind of responsible for other children because, like, she's the one who had this experience. And majority of them, they were like, you know mm, I can't say that it was like, oh no, what is going on. It's like being scared, but like observing the situation. Like a cat when it's scared, but it must
Mm-hmm.
look like what's going on to understand, should I run away? What do I do? And of course, it's heavily linked to what their parents decide, because many children, they really live in this limbo, like, their parents saying, maybe in 2 months we will go back to Ukraine, no, maybe in like 1 month we will go to another country, and it goes like this for years, so they are not fully settled down. And it also goes heavily on parents. And like, usually when they are older than 16 years old, they can, have their own opinion, but until, like, basically, even if they are 18 years old, if their parents decide to go somewhere, they actually can't say no. So it was a very bad experience for our Ukrainian society at all here, like Ukrainian community in Poland. And I can't really say what is the whole reaction, because like people are still in this cat position, like, waiting, and like, yeah, should I run? Should I hide? Should I like fight back? What should I do? Very biological stuff, like
Yeah.
you can't control that.
Yeah. I don't know. I think you described it really well, the kind of cat in a tree or cat under a bush kind of thing of looking at it, you know? Um, yeah, I, it's, I don't know. I don't have words for that. Also, chat, if you guys have questions for Nastia, drop it in chat. So
Sorry, I
no, I love it. I love it.
I just look at myself in camera and I find it really funny.
It is fun. It is fun. It takes me a while. Like whenever I want to point at someone, I'm like, this way, no, this way. And then my friend Oля, she's just like this. And I'm
You can
like,
just do like this.
that's that's good. That's good. I'm going to do that from now on. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So you said you moved to Poland.
When I was 17 years old.
Yeah. Was it to study there?
It was a very complicated decision because
Okay.
mm, it's like a long story short, but when I was
Mhm.
14 years old, I basically took part in the revolution in 2014 with my
Mhm.
family, like casual Ukrainian family activity,
Yeah,
taking
yeah.
part in revolution with your kid. And it was maybe the most traumatic experience of my life because the invasion in 2022, it was very painful, but it wasn't as shocking maybe.
As
Uh,
2014.
Yeah, because in 2014 I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, and at the time we also, like, our president, he has run the fuck away because he deserves it. But we were we didn't know what to do. And then
Mm.
the annexion of Crimea started, and then the war started. And I was watching it all in, like, all the news. And we also had like distant relatives in Russia, and we have cut off our communication since the beginning of March 2014. And then after the war broke out, like all those Donetsk People Republic was established, it was very traumatic to me because my parents, when before the invasion, when soldier's body was delivered to the place, like to the city. You would
Mhm.
come to the funeral, you would welcome this body. And my family took part in all of those funerals. And it was a very traumatic period for me because I have seen like my state falling apart. We survived and we did it great. Like no one can uh, no one can compare with us because
Mhm.
basically if to analyze what has been going on back in time, it's really insane. I try not to think about it at all. But I was like very afraid. I was very afraid, and maybe the worst part was Ilovaisk tragedy. And I remember like
What
watching.
was that? Can you just tell me what was that?
I don't know how you say it. I need to Google it how it's in
Sure,
English.
that's fine.
But it was a situation in which our soldiers had to retreat, and
Uh,
uh, they asked Russians for permission for us to
I
leave.
remember the green corridor that Russia
Yeah,
violated.
and
Yeah,
they did not do it. They like basically
yeah,
killed people. So it was like
yeah.
a trap, something like
Mm.
that. And
Okay, yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
yeah, how it's called? Like it's called Battle of Ilovaisk, but it's basically something called kotyol, like a cauldron. A situation when
Mm-hmm.
like we were trapped and we couldn't
Mm.
survive, and it was maybe the start of lots of human rights violations by Russia that
Mm.
made me like really I was like really shocked because the amount of violence was like incredible. And it was me, after all I have seen in 2014, it was me who made this decision. And I came to my parents and I said that I want to go, like I want to leave.
Mm.
So it was a decision like I want to leave, I want to study, and I maybe want to stay even there. So yeah, it's a very painful decision because if to think broadly, it also happened because of Russians. Like I made this decision because I was very afraid.
Mm.
I have seen how people were united during the revolution, and then I have seen how people were falling apart, and then I have seen how like these people were the first who then went to war to fight Russians. And I have seen also like what happened in the world, how the world did not react. And yeah, it was very scary time because the society wasn't as united as now. Like it was a terrible time because many people, even my classmates, they told me that who pays you like for what you do. And I'm like, who pays me for what? Nobody paid me. I was there like, because it's my family's hobby, to respect
To protest and be
yeah,
activists. Were your family involved in the Orange Revolution as well in 2004? Or
mostly
was
my grandparents.
okay, so your family have always been like the protesting type. Okay, cool.
Yeah, but in 2000, so in 2014, we were not like, we were not that there all the time. It just happened that
Mm.
me and my mom, we were in one of the most like bloody days there, and I was
Mm.
only 14 years old. And only 5 years later, when I was in the university, I came to realize that maybe watching at people being killed, like at the main square of your country, is kind of traumatizing. And I was like,
Yeah, just maybe.
maybe it's
Just
a bad
maybe.
bad experience, like. And Russia must pay for that also, like for
No, they
maybe
have to.
lots of things.
Yeah. I mean, I actually, and you can tell me if it's getting too personal for you, right?
No, now it's
But
okay.
um, you with your background in psychology and everything, um, that is quite an impressionable age as a child, like, or as a teenager, 14 years old, you know, to witness this. Um, and I feel like a lot of the Ukrainian children as well, like they had, like your kids you work with, like your teenagers, they had COVID, and then there was full-scale invasion, you know? So it's almost like COVID really put really stinted the like social growth of kids. And I see that with the kids I used to I tutor. I can see kind of that, and I can see how they try to find community online, but then also how that community led them to go kind of right wing, um, because those were the people who were posting the whole time. Um, and then I feel like for Ukrainian kids, on top of COVID, they then had to deal with this stress, you know? Um, and you obviously had to deal with it as a 14-year-old um, in 2014. But how has it, like, and with your experience of working with children and teenagers, how have you seen this specific generation deal with it? And do you think there is a way that they can recover, or what needs what does society have to understand about these kids, or how uh, will these kids be able to adjust in like a quote unquote normal life, or is it just like there's nothing normal anymore?
Okay, great question. Whether the normal life will be here in like 10 years, nobody knows. Uh, what I must say is that, first of all, like the biggest problem for Ukrainian kids is not even right wing stuff in the internet. In the internet, the most like problematic stuff for Ukrainians is going Moscow wing, and Russian propaganda works really good here. Ukrainian kids, they basically losing their identity here. It's a very impressive scene, and I happen to see it all the time, and I try to work on it how I can. Like we are not banning Russian language in our club, but we have banned like promoting Russian culture, saying Russia is good, saying like Dostoevsky is cool or something like that. Uh, how they are dealing with it, I can't say they are exactly like dealing with it as if like I can't see the whole generation, and it's really
Mm-hmm.
different. Like for those who are in Ukraine, it looks different. For example,
Yeah.
my colleagues from Ukraine, they say that a very specific type of challenge is that adults, they say to children all the time, you're gonna be the generation that is going to rebuild the country, lots of responsibility.
Yeah. Yeah.
For children outside of Ukraine, it's really different, and it depends on the country. But the most important thing, for example, for Poles to understand, because sometimes Polish people say, and Ukrainian, all people they say like, it's such like opportunity for these kids to like get into the European Union. They must value it, and I say like it is an
Wow.
opportunity if it's like everything is good at your place. When you're traumatically taken from your environment, it doesn't really matter. Even if the environment was really bad, if you're forcibly taken, you're gonna be traumatized, and they are trying to establish a new place for themselves, a new
Yeah.
a new like net of support. But it went really bad for me, despite I had like support of my parents, I had money, I had like it was my decision. and for them it comes really different. Like I don't usually see the worst cases of those who like went straight to like some addictions or stuff like that. Sometimes I meet those kids, but like they are lost, and I can say that they just don't know what's going on. I would say, like they lack this stable support from adult figures. The problem is when your parent is working 12 hours a day. For example, they're cleaning dishes, and they are also being fooled as by Polish people, by Ukrainian all the time. And you live in a room, not like in a full apartment. You live in a room, and you're a 16-year-old boy, and you live with your mom, and you also have to work. Like you're not exactly like dealing with something. You're like trying to just live another day. Like
Just to
some
survive.
yeah, some of the it's just casual teenager stuff like sports or like music or like drawing or like sometimes something else. But I can see that like a specific type of dealing with it. I can say that they're very very confused and they lack stability because their parents lack stability. And to some age, to the age of 18, all we can really do is like provide resources, and that's all. And after the age of 18, it depends. Some of them stay with their parents, some of them leave, and they go really different roads, like really different. Some of them like start working at age 15. Some of them work illegally, and the how do you say it? As like building some buildings. I don't know.
Construction.
Yeah, some they work at the construction legally. Some of them have money, like their parents have an apartment, but they go to work to just have something for themselves. Some of them migrate to their relatives. Some of them go back to Ukraine. I also had a kid who went back to Kharkiv to study, and she has been living there for last 2 years. Very different.
I think that's a good thing to point out is I think oftentimes people try to look at refugees and like say, this, I've made like 2 refugees and this applies to everyone, right? And I think it's important for people to understand that even though the experience might be the same, like the reason they are refugees is the same, it doesn't mean that they're experiencing this the same way and their reaction won't be the same. And then I just want to say hi to Warren on Facebook, who says, lovely meeting you both and hearing from you. Very sad. Thank you for your support and commitment. Yeah. And then Soul of the Red Earth is here. She says, he, I don't know. Red Earth Salt, what do you identify as? But says, hello, Jana, Nastia, Keith, Viper. Just listening. Good to see all of you. And then also hello to Nikki Hill. Yeah, I think that's a difficult thing. And how do you ever speak to the parents of these teenagers and be like, hey? Okay, so it doesn't really help you to be like, hey, here's a lesson or here's a course on how to help your kid deal with it,
No,
or is
no,
it
no. It
just
doesn't. It doesn't like work like that because to be able to get to the course and to dedicate your resources to stuff like
yeah,
that, you must be. I don't like this word, but it's a privilege to have some free resources to dedicate to
yeah,
the kid. So, like, I had severe cases with moms who were like, they were like from very abusive marriage, and the partner was very abusive, and we like she had psychiatrist, psychotherapist, crisis intervention specialist, but her own like painful wounds, they were too deep and we couldn't help her. And like I can't say that even once somebody asked me like how can I support my kid. No, it never happened. And I can say that maybe half of children, their parents know about me, because like we give them, official documents, they need to sign in them. And casually I try to ask children, like, please ask your parents to give us like on Facebook because it's really important. um yeah, but like parents, they do what they really can. I can say that I don't know
Mm.
what would I do if I had a kid and my husband was fighting and I was in a foreign country and I had to leave my place, I had to leave the city, for example, I have been born to. I'm really amazed because it's like incredible, and I know women who have even succeeded a lot here in Poland. Like, they earn like some good money, they can afford to go like on some holidays and stuff. I can say that it's really difficult for my people, and even when they do like awful mistakes, I can find lots of compassion because it's much more difficult to be kind when you're really poor, or like you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know whether you're gonna be able to stay here. And like, yeah,
I think that level of uncertainty is really difficult. And I don't have kids. I have two dogs, and that's the full extent of my responsibilities that I have in life. I know you have plants that you're actually able to keep alive. I can't even keep plants alive. Um, Probably the only reason I'm able to keep my dogs alive is because they tell me like, uh, we're hungry now. You know?
please give us food or we're gonna cry.
Yeah, literally. Like
And they're
attention
cute.
now, please. Yeah.
I don't know, like
So,
I have met many different parents and many
mm,
different people, and some people are really evil, but majority of parents, they just want the best, and sometimes what they think the best is just stupid, but it happens. I might not be also smart, like, I
yeah.
just sometimes I know that uh, for many what really fixes the situation is the feeling of safety and
Mm,
some institutional support, and we lack it here. Like I can't like criticize what is going on here because actually Poland had it hard before even the invasion, like social services, schools and stuff. mm, but it's really painful to see how disadvantaged our kids are comparing to people who live in their country. Like it really screws you a lot. It really like takes some, like there is an egg and you have this yellow part and white
yeah.
part, and then if it happens and you're lucky, you will become a chicken, yeah. And
Mm,
imagine that your egg is like only three, like, I don't know, 75% of 100% of that white and yellow part. Like some
mm,
25% have been taken by war, and that's all. And like, I'm not saying that they're gonna be uh, less strong or they something like that. They're just be. Uh, it's really difficult to compare because yeah, they become adults earlier. Yeah, they like very responsible, but it's nothing to be happy about for kids
mm.
becoming responsible at the age where they should have been basically kids.
Carefree and
Yeah, yeah.
relaxing. Yeah.
Nothing to be
I,
happy about because they will try to take it somewhere later in their life.
yeah. I think, and that's something that's been like, in a way, bothering me, which obviously a lot of everything Russia does bothers me, right? Like they breathe, and I'm like, could you not? You know? Exactly, exactly. Um, so I think I look at this, and I mean, I don't have your experience, but I used to teach kids. I work as a translator on medico legal cases with dealing with people who have traumatic brain injury and everything. So I see the impact that early childhood development has on people, and also like later experiences on a child's brain. And I look at it and I'm like, we are going to have so many people who need help, you know, and it's going to be a thing of
Sorry,
how,
I was
yeah, yeah,
trying to kill a mosquito by the time. Sorry.
but
I was, yeah.
like,
Yeah,
how is, and I mean, I don't think there is an answer for this, but how does a society, and not just in this case a country, okay, because I feel like it's the entire Ukrainian diaspora that's been affected by this, right? How does a people, if we can use that word, recover from this trauma? And I don't know if there's even an answer for it. Maybe you are more optimistic than I am,
yeah, I'm
but
actually quite optimistic because some time back I was looking for this answer for myself.
Mhm.
Because I was like, like, what is my work even for now? Like, what am I working towards? Am I gonna be helpful? How can I say like? Also, I wanted to ask: the background noise, is it a dog?
Oh, that, yeah, she's snoring. I am
Okay,
sorry.
okay, it's so funny because it sounds like a very old person,
No, it's literally a Maltese. She's this big. She's 10 years old. Frida, could you please stop snoring? Everyone can hear you.
okay, because I was like, you said you had
Lord.
no keys and was like a very old person or a kid, and I was like, okay, it's a dog.
Oh, it's taking the wrong. Oh my goodness. 1 second. Let me just switch my microphone. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, it should be better now. I'm
Yeah,
so
much
sorry.
better. Like no
Okay.
dog noises.
No,
But
no.
I was
Oh my
like,
goodness. Thank you for
and
asking, because I was like, why is she saying like
she's like,
that? I'm serious. I'm like, and she sleeps in the bed with me, and I'm like, could you please stop? She moves a bit. She's like, and then she starts again. Okay, but yes, you were saying about you are
yeah.
more
I
hopeful than I am.
think that what really cures the society is the society itself if it's open towards each other, and like the answer to this question is building a community. I remember somebody told me about those veteran spaces for soldiers in
Mhm.
Canada that are built, and soldiers can meet there and they build a community and they solve their problems there and they can have an honest talk. And it's basically what I'm working on in that another bigger like foundation. And it's also what we are trying to build in UFAM. It's basically showing people that they can build the net of support, and the bigger it is, the better, and that it should be autonomic structure. And it starts, for example, from money. If I want to buy something, I go to Ukrainians. If I want someone to clean, for example, my car, I go to Ukrainians. If I want to like find a teacher for my kid, I go to Ukrainians. If I want to spend time with someone, I go to Ukrainians, and it's like a spiral of Ukrainians
Mhm.
spending time with Ukrainians. Social gatherings, traditional dances, cleaning cemeteries, because we have like a
Mhm.
small part of Ukrainian cemetery in Warsaw. Meeting together, cooking together. It's like building a very big family with
Mhm.
loose uh, but still present connections. And it's the
Mhm.
only thing that can help. Like, the professional knowledge is very important, but somehow societies, for example, in Africa, I know that there are lots of projects. I can't remember all of them exactly, but I remember there was a project like on the bench or something like that. And it's basically people could like contact someone who would come and just listen to their problems, and like not in a concealer way, but like in a
Mhm.
natural way. And you just spend time with each other together. And I can say that uh, what is concealing? What is basically being a psychologist? Nothing is new under the sun, because concealing has existed for a very long time. It just has been renamed and it has a new frame. And what we call concealing exists in the majority of societies. And for example, African societies in different countries, people in Africa, they are able to digest the trauma, and we can learn a lot from them, because concealing is not the only way. For example, what we have lost, especially in USA, in Europe it's better, is
Mhm.
the healing nature of human touch. Like, people hugging together, you are sitting with your friend, you're giving a pat, or like you're doing the hair of your friend,
Mm.
because it's like my one of my Rome Empire topics.
Okay.
Yeah, how much sexualization of human touch
Mm.
became a problem, because not every touch is about having sexual connection. It's
Mm.
simple about human connection, and
Yeah.
sometimes. If you go even deeper, sorry, but like I like to go like deeper.
Oh, of course, go ahead.
What we are paying psychologists for? We basically paying them for being present with us in
Mhm.
our very vulnerable states, and helping us process our emotions. So, of course, it takes lots of vulnerability for a casual, let's say it like that, citizen to open up to someone else.
Mm.
But the more you experience, the better you become at it. And I really am sure, because like my knowledge speaks for itself, and
Of
many
course,
my
of
older
course.
colleagues, they say they think the same, that the best way will go if we will teach very basic stuff some community leaders. But the
Mm.
problem in Ukraine that those community leaders, they are mostly now, they are fighting, they are helping the army, and people who stayed back, they are very low resourced, or they're like no
Mm.
interested. So it's a complicated issue that you must both fight Russian propaganda and somehow help your society. So like Russian propaganda works a lot on dividing people and telling
Yeah.
Ukrainians that they are deliberately evil, soulless, bad people. It's not true,
Mm.
because I come from a family that both survived two genocides, because I'm of Armenian descent. I have some Armenian roots and I also have Ukrainian roots. And very slowly, those things are digested in our history
Mm.
of nations. And society will heal itself one way or another. The really pathological case of society not being able to heal itself is Russia. Russia is the society that is not able to heal itself. It's not able to understand that violence is bad. And I had read some papers and smart people saying smart things, that it started from back in, like, 15th century. And like, this is the main problem of Russia. Russia is so traumatized, it only can reproduce evil. Majority of people, they found out that if you like hug another human being, it gets better. And Russians, they're
Mm.
like very damaged,
Yeah.
very bad.
So, like, I know before the full scale invasion, I was speaking to some Russians, right? And they told me they have this expression in Russia where it basically translates as if you see a man walking down the street and he's smiling, it means he is an idiot.
Yeah, yeah. I used to have lots of friends from Russia,
Uh huh.
and I had like a very important discussion with them, maybe in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
One of them, he took part in protests, and I asked him, "Why are you not fighting back when police is taking one of protesters?" And he
Mm.
he told me, uh, who is this man, a fellow protester? Who is he for me that I must risk my own safety? They don't treat other members of their society as part of the family, because this is what is for me like Ukrainians and Polish people also. like majority of them at least. Like when I see them, sorry, this mosquito is flying, and I was trying to kill it the whole evening. I don't know how it survived the autumn, but okay. It's like normally you can be very tired of your own people, but like when bad times come, you're like, those
Yeah.
are my people. Like I really love them. I want them to be safe.
Mm.
Uh, Maybe those who are really, really savage and like evil and are trying to harm me, okay, let them not be safe. But in majority of situations, I'm like, oh yeah, fellow Ukrainian, even like if you're dumb and like we have different opinions, I'm so happy you're alive. We can like shit on each other for a very long time because you and I are alive, and they don't have it.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, being happy in Russia is insane. Because like if you're being happy in Russia, you're basically committing suicide. I'm not joking. Like, um, I have been really trying to explore them. I have read a lot about Gulag, and I have been thinking how deep it affected them as a society.
Mm.
And I think that they have like they made a very they are not able to reproduce anything but violence. Like I don't know. It's a very traumatized person who got so traumatized that it's now only causing harm to others. Like not able to save themselves, because like to be safe you must acknowledge your sins, you
Yeah.
must come to understanding that other people are people, and the most difficult thing for them is to basically uh, love other Russians. Not possible.
Yeah. I don't know. I I look at it and I like speak to other South Africans, right? And um the concept of in South Africa, the concept of our neighboring country invading us is like what? Because we have the stronger military, right? So for us, it's like such a weird thing to kind of imagine. And then I'm like, okay, so clearly we cannot go with the thing of your neighbor is invading you. But what we can um, connect to is okay, your former colonizer has decided to come back. Um, so that's what I tell South Africans. I'm like, yeah, it's like the British being you're like, hey bitches, we're back.
We're so
Uh,
back.
we're so
Yeah,
back.
like you have spent some time being free, let's cut it off. Like,
Let's cut it off. Uh, None of your languages are allowed to be spoken. If you speak it, you're in trouble. And also, yeah, we already took your biggest diamond ever, but we're going to take some more, you know? And that is something that I've noticed resonates with South Africans, even though the concept of um, your neighbor invading you doesn't.
yeah, you must find the language to speak to each
Exactly.
person, to each country. Like in Poland, it's very easy. You just say, imagine Russia invaded you.
Yeah, sadly, Poland has experienced that.
Yeah, but like now, Russia, like over the last 50 years, Russia and Soviet Union has been investing billions and
Hmm.
tens of billions of dollars to attack information
Hmm.
safety in all the countries. And in
Yeah.
Poland, people are just they are very tired. They are very like they are over triggered. They are
Hmm.
overstimulated,
Yeah. Yeah.
overstimulated, and they just became like, yeah, okay, if it comes, we will do something about it.
Mm.
And now they're mostly concentrated on the casual stuff that is less connected to war. And to speak openly, if it was for
Hmm.
Ukraine, it would be the same. Like we were not also into, talking about invasion and war. We were trying
Mm.
to dig our heads in sand. I remember it really bad because I traced it, and I was sure about the invasion back in November 21, and everybody called me crazy, but it's not the first time. Uh, yeah.
But all the best people are crazy, you know?
Yeah, like my grandpa back in
Oh,
2008.
yes, we're getting Nastia grandpa stories.
Yeah. it was like Russia attacked Georgia, and he was like, "You're next," and everybody was like, "Yeah, like, man, cool down, fuck off. What are you saying?" And he was like, "You're gonna see it," and it was like, he was very traumatized by it because he was very afraid,
Mm,
and it was the biggest fear of his life. He's still alive, by the way. Yeah, when he dies, I will write a book, and it really. It also traumatized me because when I was 9 years old, I watched the movie Pianist by Polanski. Despite Polanski is a bad person, this movie, it really it traumatized me in a good way,
mm,
because since that time I was like, the worst situation that could happen is war. Like, please God, no war. So like when the war started, I was like, fuck, what's going on? Like I asked for one thing. Yeah, but it is like, it teaches you a lot. It teaches you a lot, and that is why I want to, me with my friend Alina
mm,
Novobilska, who is a historian, she's a Pole. We are working on a program, and we will be fundraising for it from like local Polish businesses. We want to create a program to teach Ukrainians about Polish history, and like
mm,
about the what happened during Second World War, what is like basically Poland, and who is Pilsudski. And we also want to talk about concentration camps,
mhm,
because mostly I try not to concentrate on Russian violence a lot, but sometimes I come to understand that I need to shock them a bit, because they lose the understanding of who the enemy
mm,
is. Yeah,
yeah.
they must be aware, sadly. If we won't prepare them, they will get victims of it, sadly.
Mm.
You
Actually, sorry, I actually want to read Lisa's question in chat, where she says, I think this is why in the US we don't pay attention to the war. We are so far away, um, so we cannot relate to it, you know?
it's really difficult um, to pay attention when you're far away, is the first. Second one, it's like, US guys, you have a lot of your head going on. Like, yeah, it's
You
crazy
have a
times.
lot going on. It's, yeah.
Yeah, I'm really like sorry for my US friends, because many
Yeah.
of them, they are like over 50, some of them are over 60, and they would like to
Mm.
have like some peace in their life, and they have the peace, but not like the peace with
Yeah.
like, but like the peace in yellow color. Sorry. Uh,
Yeah.
and I can say that information in US, the one who pays, he gets all the attention.
Hmm.
So it's not surprising that Ukraine is not in the center of the attention. All I can say is that when all these things explode, like when it's going to be like, I
Mm.
don't know, third world war or whatever, majority of people, they will not even understand what happened, because they did not trace it. Because like, people are being bombarded basically with so much
Hmm.
information. All we are doing from the moment we wake up and we unblock our phones, we are only digesting information. That's
Yeah.
all we do. That's crazy. It never has been like that in human history. So sometimes when people say like, "Oh no, bad Americans, they don't pay attention to Ukraine," I mean, like, man, fuck off. I was the only one in my age group who knew about Syria back in 2011. Yeah, like, fuck off. Like, you did not pay the shit about it. Like, so every
Yeah.
time I meet Americans who do something, I'm like, yeah, great. Like, I know there are dumb people everywhere. Trust me,
That's the
I know
thing.
a
Like
lot.
I feel like what people don't
Dumb
understand is until
Ukrainians, they exist. Dumb
yeah.
Polish people, they exist. That's okay. And like, US is a really difficult place to be sane. So like,
Mm.
yeah, I
So
just
Lisa actually then replied and she said, "Not me. I pay attention, but I need to imagine the feelings. But I mean, it is frustrating. I don't hear much on our news. That's why streams are important to inform us." So I I agree with you on that, Lisa. Like here in South Africa, we don't hear about it unless the government releases a statement, which they did yesterday, because apparently they received a distress call from 17 South Africans who are in Donbass, who were lured there under the promise of doing work and stuff, and now they are in a private military company. And I'm like,
Dang.
yeah,
Dang.
but this is something that I'm gonna have a stream with Philip Abaji and Rachel.
Oh yeah, I know.
Rachel
I know Philip
Jameson.
Obaji. Yeah.
Yeah, he's been on my stream before. He's a friend. I just have to brag.
Oh my, oh my! You know some big shots, dude.
Like, I'm serious. It's honestly just I message people on Twitter and they reply back. I'm like, oh my word, we're friends now.
Yeah, yeah. I'm the same.
Yeah, yeah. So him and then also Rachel from Protect a Volunteer. Her background is she used to do humanitarian law and help people in war-torn countries to actually get aid. So, but she also has some experience on how human trafficking works in this cases.
Oh,
In this case,
oh
so
yeah.
I'm going to talk
I'm
to
interested in
both of
that.
them.
Like, hit me
Yeah,
up
so I'm
when you
going to
have those
speak to.
streams.
I will. I will. So I'll speak to both of them about it and kind of deal with it because this is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with human trafficking. It's the same with the
Yeah,
Alabuga
yeah,
drone
yeah. No,
factory.
nobody really talks for that because, like, when they want to say that someone is using Africans, they're talking about USA using Africans. But when you want to
Yeah.
talk about Russia, they always say like everything is okay. I mean, like the mainstream narrative.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in reality, Russia is trafficking everyone they can, and
Exactly.
they have been using, for example, Syrian refugees to attack
Mm-hmm.
Polish border via Belarus, and now they're using Africans. And like they don't really get to care about their own people, so they don't care about anyone else.
Yeah.
And yes, this is like disgusting because it sometimes impresses me how inhumane they are,
Mm-hmm.
and like I don't know,
So
I
I had Philip on my stream a while ago, right? And he was talking about how Russia is fueling the migrant crisis in
yeah,
Europe
yeah,
by
yeah.
destabilizing. Yeah, so I'll send you the link to the stream.
It's a very well known thing. Like I have been exploring it for a while because, as you can see, in my family we talk about
Yeah, I like
politics,
it.
and cats, and that's all. And like some
The,
food
th-
sometime.
the thing in my family, right? It's like I talk about politics and my mom listens, and my dad is like, Yana, I don't want to focus on this. I just want to focus on happy news. And I'm like, uh,
Oh,
okay.
we never focused on happy news. Like never happened.
Yeah.
So
I
let's
just
be
want to
the
say to Driven to Help, if you go to our YouTube, or I don't know if you are on Discord, you can also join us on Discord and then I can pop the link in there. Otherwise, Keith or Andreas, if you guys have time, or are able to just find the stream we did with Philip and just post that in chat, that would be awesome. Otherwise, Driven to Help, you can just go to our YouTube and then not under videos, you have to go under the live tab and then you will see the interview I had with Philip. Yeah. So it's a big send link on Discord. Okay. Let me do this. Discord. Okay. So you can just join our Discord and then just like once you reply, you can just be like, okay, cool, this is me. Please send the link and then I'll post it there for you. Yeah, because it's a very important thing. So for me, like as a South African, I look at this and I'm like, yeah, we're seeing a lot of human traffic. Oh, that's what I was saying, right? So it's been quiet. We don't hear about this in the news. And then yesterday, this pops up: 17 South Africans are in Donbass, are being held in Donbass after being tricked. And I'm like, I know the Ukrainian military doesn't use private military companies, right? And I double checked. I like phoned my contacts. I'm like, hey, this isn't on like on the Ukrainian side. Like, nope.
No, we are just
Um,
very open. Like join the AFU and get the money, and that's all. It's
yeah,
it's normal. Like because
yeah.
like it's a
So,
very long topic, frankly speaking, because if you want to concentrate on how like exactly Russia destabilizes the world to attack its
mhm,
enemies in not the direct way, they're genius, but like bad genius,
yeah, evil genius. Yeah.
very evil.
Um, yeah, so I agree definitely with it was really, really an interesting discussion with Philip and um with everything going on with Alabuga and then now this thing that we have going on. Um, I want him and Rachel on the stream, and Rachel is just actually she's sick at the moment, but as soon as she's better, I'm like, you're on with Philip, right? Um,
Let her rest a bit. Like she must be prepared for this talk.
I
It's not
already
like
prepared her every single time. I'm like, we're talking about this and we're talking about this. She's like, I'm looking forward to it. I'm like, cool, tell your immune system to hurry up. um, but yeah, and the interesting thing for me was, right? Um, oh, Melissa's in chat. Hey, Melissa. So Melissa is the wife of one of our moderators. So I'm like, hey, Melissa.
oh.
Yeah. Um, so what did I want to say? Oh, what was interesting for me with the press release that our government put out yesterday, right?
Oh,
Was they actually acknowledged that Donbass is Ukraine.
oh, better late
And
than
I'm
never.
like, yeah, but the thing is, right, this is my country. They don't vote at the UN against Russia, they abstain. Okay. They take a neutral stance when it comes to this war. No, they don't say they're neutral, they say they are non-aligned. And then I got explained what the difference is. And I'm like, kind of just sounds the same, but okay.
Very
Um,
strategical decision.
very, very. It's playing semantics. It's literally what it is. Um, and so that's going on. But then what was interesting for me was we're part of BRICS, right? And our government in a press release said Donbass, Ukraine. And I'm like, I take this as a win, even though they wouldn't say which side these guys were fighting for, even though they didn't disclose that, even though they called it the Ukraine-Russia war, not even the Russo-Ukrainian war. They made it sound like Ukraine is the agitator. I'm like, but they acknowledged Ukrainian territorial integrity, and that for me is a win. I'm
It
like,
starts
the
from really small steps. Like
I know, but
I
for
don't
me,
like.
I'm like, I also look at it, I'm like, the bar is so low. I'm like, also, Lisa, yeah, so they willingly went to a country at war and now they are like, help us, don't hang out with Russians. So that's the thing, right? A lot of these people get promised jobs in hospitality, for example. That's what happens to a lot of the women who work in Alabuga. They get promised jobs in hospitality, or
They're being tricked. They're being tricked.
they're being
Like
tricked.
yeah,
It's human trafficking that you're looking at. Some of them get told, yes, um, you will be you'll join the military, but they get told, no, no, you'll do like background work. You'll be like driving trucks and digging trenches and stuff like that. And then they get there and
and
then
they
they
think like that
realize,
everything will go okay. Like yeah, they
yeah,
think like I
yeah,
will not do anything bad, and it's not like that. The problem
yeah,
is that they don't do the research, but it's like it's not their fault fully because it relies on those people who offered it, but at the same time
exactly.
it also happens like at a smaller scale. It happens, it's the same, like you go to other country and you expect like a good salary and good conditions,
Mhm.
and when you come it's a shit forgotten place and you receive like some bare minimum, and but many people, they just don't have those skills to make the research, and then
Mm.
they simply fall victims of those
And
who are preying
that's
them.
actually part of what I'm going to speak to Rachel and Philip about, because Rachel was telling me, or she posted about it on her Twitter, that one of the women she worked with from Sierra Leone was literally recruited by a relative of hers. The relative knew what was going on. And if you look at the content that the Alabuga Start program puts out, they're using African women to be like, hey guys, I'm hanging out with my other friends here. Come join us. It's fun, whatever. So
What
they
an
get people to
amazing job! Thank you so
exactly.
much.
And I'm learning so much and everything, right? So it's the whole thing going on in that sense. So I think it's an interesting topic to discuss, but I do not think we're going to see a significant change, at least on the African continent, anytime soon, due to Russia's significant influence in not only like up north in terms of their military presence, but also their extensive influence on propaganda and the media landscape across the entire continent. And I know they're also recruiting people from Southeast Asia and from South America. And then it's weird for me, right? Because I get that, like, especially the Alabuga Start program, I get that these people go there and they are making drones that kill Ukrainian civilians, right? That target cities. I get that. And at the same time, I'm like, I do not think this person chose that.
Yeah,
I think
like
they were
it's.
promised one thing and then they
Mm,
did. So for me, it's a very weird thing because I'm like, I've seen how people get tricked. Even in South Africa, people get tricked. Um, just about like literally they get tricked for human trafficking in South Africa, where women will get messages on Facebook and it will be like, hey, I have a job for you because we have a high unemployment rate. I have a job for you. Meet me at this place, this time, this day. And then some of the women at least have the good sense to look up what's going on, and then they realize there's not even a building at that address. Um, so what then happens is these women get kidnapped and they get trafficked. Um, so I get it from a country where we do have a big unemployment problem. I can kind of see that level of desperation, but then also from a pro-Ukrainian point of view, I'm like, they're making stuff that kills people. So for me, it's like a very weird thing. I do not know how to process that. I do not know if I look at them as victims or if I look at them as perpetrators or just a useful tool who are
but
also
like,
a victim.
it doesn't have to be one. You can both be a victim who then forcibly became a perpetrator, and who is also a useful tool. And the thing is, if they are able to come back,
Mm-hmm.
it one just has to make a research whether they really didn't know about what they're going to do. And like, this is the evil genius of Russia, because those people, they were never meant to become such type of criminals. Like, maybe they
Mm-hmm.
were meant to stole one, I don't know, one candy, and that's all in their life. And this way, uh, you never know what really happens there. Maybe their passports were taken and they were forced. And
Mm-hmm.
some of them, of course, would say, okay, I'm okay with that, because in every society you will find people who are okay with doing something bad to someone else. And this is like the trickery of Russia, because it takes people from the same country and it makes them polarized. And one thinks that the other is a perpetrator and is a criminal. And it's like as a thing to show, like, to South Africans, like, yeah, guys, see what they have done. They lied to our people. They use the situation, and some of our people, they really fully aware they became criminals, and some of them were not. And like,
Mm-hmm.
it's a very long story what to do with those people later. I'm not sure, but like, It's very difficult for Ukrainians because we are very concentrated on life, death, and quick
Mm,
solutions. Who is safe, who is not safe. And it's also the responsibility of people like you, like me, who are well aware of what is going on, of disinformation. It's our mm it's our duty to educate those we know. I don't know in like how exactly because it's not very easy. Yeah,
yeah.
but they use it.
Yeah, I think you've summarized it really well. And yeah, I just want to answer Lisa, asking, will South Africa try to get their people out of there? According to the press release the government released yesterday, they are following the diplomatic channels, which means they are speaking to Russia to try and get these people back. But we'll see if it happens. And I think, Nastia, I also get where you're coming from because, like, I was in Ukraine. I've, you know, I did my time in the corridor. you know? um, I've lost friends because of Russia. Um, and I think um, part of the thing is when I'm in Ukraine, I'm like, but these people are making things that kill the people I care about and that put the people I care about at risk, right? Um, but yeah, I don't know. John Moy says we will have to wait for important people to be kidnapped for change as South Africa is allowing it to happen. The thing is, it's from what I understand, and this is like the difficult thing, and that's I think Philip will be the better person to discuss this, is um the because I'm not clued up on this, but um the level of recruitment that is happening um across Africa, South America, and Southeast Asia, I think it's something that is not fully understood. Um, Recently, we had an influencer, and if you check our YouTube, I actually uploaded. It's a short clip I had with Philip. It's part of our long stream, but this is like I think it's less than like I think it's like 2 minutes long, if at most. Um, where we talk about the Alabuga Start program and how they are leveraging that. And we recently had a scandal here in South Africa where an influencer posted about her time in Alabuga, but she actually just went to show people the whole place. No, she was like showing it. She's like, here's the bed, and here's this, and here's this. And then South Africans were like, yeah, but we've heard about this place before. We saw the articles about this place before, even though it wasn't covered in South African news. Um, it was covered in the world, right? And she got such a backlash. She deleted her video and apologized.
Oh, that's
And we
great.
were, yeah, I'm like, that's great. And South Africans were like, wow, this is what it took for this influencer to get taken down. In 2 weeks, they're going to forgive her, you know? Um,
Yeah, but like it's what takes people. People are usually like many influencers are deliberately dumb, and you need like some
mhm.
violent pushbacks for them to happen. Like if you do
Yeah.
this, you get blocked. If you do this, you get no collaborations. That's all.
I mean, there's this big Instagram account I know about. I forgot the name, but it's two twins. And they were part of a group of South African influencers, like TikTokers, who got invited to go to Russia on the typical PR tour. Okay. And then they were also in Crimea for the annexation of Crimea that they celebrated with a party. And they're literally just vibing up. And I'm like, cool. So you can see the propaganda that Russia is trying to push out. And it's frustrating for me to see that at the same time knowing people are victims of the propaganda, and then at the same time being like, these people who are victims of propaganda will then lead to people who are making weapons to make Ukrainians victims. But I think you coming in here with your psychologist wisdom being like someone can be both a victim and a perpetrator, even if it's an unwilling perpetrator, I think that kind of really summarizes things. And I think it's a really good perspective. So thank you for that. Because
You're
oftentimes
welcome.
we kind of want to put people in boxes. And I
Uh,
get really frustrated when they do not fit into the box I want them to fit in.
like if someone committed like a crime, if someone uh, has like it's really different when you are taken to that Alabuga and you were forced first you were lied, and then you come to Alabuga and you understand that situation is dangerous and you need to play the role to survive. And it's one, and if you're willingly do it, it's second. But the most important thing that mm, like creating tribes in society, I mean, like not tribes, creating groups in society that are fighting with each other and building a conflict is what Russia is investing in. So like each time I think about it,
Mm.
I'm like, haha, no, Russia, you won't get your money used well, like simply because I want them to use the money for something not useful. And some
Mhm.
people, they really will deserve punishment, but like quickly saying that, oh, those South Africans, they just wanted to earn money and to kill Ukrainians is dumb. And it all Russia wants, it wants us to make quick decisions, it wants us to very quickly cut people off from our circle and to view them as enemies. But what is really important when you see those influencers, even if they are really just stupid, you must trace the connections and to see, try to cut them off from money if you can somewhere. Like,
Mm.
write down those names because time will pass and those people will show up in different circumstances, but you will know that they are compromised. This is very
Yeah.
important to trace in culture, even if it's like being an influencer. It's like for safety, it's an important thing to teach people to do this. Because in Ukraine we have a significant problem with that people, they just disappears and they show up, and you need to make a research to check whether they were connected to some stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's like it.
No, definitely. It's definitely a thing. Um, so circling back to my notes. Also, I want to know, do you still have time? Because
Yeah,
I usually tell guests it will. Okay, you're
I'm
good.
not doing
Okay, cool.
anything.
Because I usually tell
I will
guests,
I will take
fantastic,
my Polish
fantastic.
sweet bread in chocolate and eat it, so people will get.
Ooh, nice. Okay, have enjoy that. Um, so I recently watched a movie called Under the Volcano by um a Polish director, right? It was part of the European Film Festival here in South Africa. And it is about this family who are, um, I don't know how to pronounce it, Tenerife.
Tenerife, yeah.
It's like
I know
Tenerife,
where
yeah.
it is.
So they were, yeah. So that's why it's called Under the Volcano because they're in Tenerife. um, so this family is there, and that's where they're on holiday there when the full-scale invasion breaks out, right? It's the Ukrainian family, that's where they are when it breaks out. And the film deals with them feeling disconnected from everything, not knowing what's going to happen, and also feeling guilty because this is happening, but they are not there to experience it. And they do not know, like, especially the daughter doesn't know how to kind of explain that she's not experiencing this in person, but she's not enjoying her holiday either because this is going on in her country, right? So I actually want to ask you, when the full-scale invasion happened, right? You were in Poland. Um, I don't just assume that, guys. I actually spoke to Nastia about this before. So you were in Poland. How did that, like seeing that happen, what was it like, and what was your reaction like when you were like, shit, this is happening? Yeah.
So I was like very obsessed with all those OSINT profiles on
Mm-hmm.
OSINT accounts on Twitter, and I was obsessively following them. And maybe 2 weeks prior to invasion, I remember myself not being able to fall asleep and panically walking in circles around my block. And I remember it was almost 2 a.m. And I remember Secretary Blinken, he said that Ukraine is going to be invaded today. And then maybe the senator of Florida or something like that. I
Mm-hmm.
have like it's written down. He said that Ukraine is going to be attacked in a couple of hours. It was the official information. So I was watching it all online. I wasn't sleeping that night.
Mm-hmm.
So I called my mom and said like the Kharkiv is being bombed. And I was like, of course, I wasn't like, yeah, hello, Kharkiv is being bombed, yeah. I was like, make it stop, everything is going to be bad, like, shut the fuck off, like, do the stuff. And she was like, my dad, my stepdad, basically, he was prepared before because he was a soldier long before the invasion,
Mm-hmm.
and he basically met his friends sometime before the invasion, and they have taken weapons to their homes. And yeah, and when it started, I was kind of, I knew it was going to happen, and of course nothing can prepare you for this. So I was like very dissociated. I was following the news, and I remember I did very important things. I connected all the people I knew, but we no longer had the connection prior to invasion. Like I
Mm-hmm.
connected my older classmates, my best friends with whom I stopped talking years ago, and one of my classmates. Like we have lost the contact long time ago, and but since the invasion, we have it like resurrected in a way. And I called everyone, and I tried to help like some of my friends because they were moving from Kiev. So I was always on the phone. I was trying to understand what is going to happen with some of my friends because like some of them they had to move like from one place in Kiev to another. Uh, and I can say that I was pretty dissociated for the first 10 days. And maybe in the middle of March, I started raising money because my dad, he was taking part if the occupying and cleaning Bucha and Irpin. And we were just like buying stuff like food for kids, those dry food for kids, like the milk substitute and
Mm-hmm.
some necessary hygienic stuff. And I remember a random guy from internet showed up. I gave him stuff I bought, like $2,000 worth, and he took it all to my hometown. And my dad was like giving it to people in the occupied areas. It was pretty wild.
Yeah. I mean, I've spoken to some of my other Ukrainian friends, and they said one of the things that kept them sane, and it's weird saying or hearing it now, given it's 2025, but they were like, what helped to keep them sane was
Yeah,
Twitter
yeah, actually it
because they had that community.
I can
Um,
say that
and for
Twitter
example,
basically
yeah.
saved my life too many times since the invasion. Like Twitter is basically a safe space and the space where I started my activity, and like basically people were chatting with each other. Like, "Are you okay? I know where he lives. Like, do you need some
Mm,
help?" Yeah, that was it.
yeah. And I know one of my friends when Elon Musk bought
Uh,
it, and then he changed the logo, and she was like, I'm not updating the app because this bird has
yeah,
significance
yeah.
to me.
I feel the
This
same.
bird helped me through
Feels the
this.
same.
Um, and eventually she checked, and the app icon updated by itself on her phone, and she was so upset. There's also another friend I have, and um, he was also he posted like a screenshot from his Twitter, and I'm like, but how do you still have the bird? And he's like, I haven't updated my app since Elon bought it.
You can also
So
you
he's
can
still,
change
yeah.
like a special icon in your phone, so at least in the menu it will still
Oh
be the
yeah.
bird.
Oh yeah, it's true. That's also true. So I think that is something that a lot of people, as much as we like to give Twitter shit, and we're like, yeah, it's like half the people on there are bots, or half the accounts on there are bots, but it's a big thing with, I think, the support and the community that is there. And like I see a lot of our regular, like it's like our YouTube community, it's like it's us and then Rick the Ukrainian, and we kind of just have like the same community. So we see the same people, and it's like this reassurance of, you're like, hey, these are my people. Okay.
Yeah,
And these are the people I can go
totally.
to if I need help. And it is the same with Twitter, where like on Twitter, I'm like, I mean, I met Radek through Twitter.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
how I
think you
met
also met him
Radek.
on Twitter.
That's how I met my current team,
Yeah,
only through Twitter. Like
yeah.
many important
Um,
people, many really important serious connections I got from Twitter. Like I really
yeah,
love this network. Like if
exactly.
you compare it to Facebook, Facebook is so
Dead.
despite Elon get it, it's still the best place for me.
Yeah. Also, Elon, because we are streaming on Twitter. Elon, bro, we're basically calling your app cool, so please boost our streams.
Oh, X is the best app ever. I wish I could spend 24 hours a day on this app voting for Donald Trump, for I'm a Republican, and I love USA, and I want Bitcoin, Dogo,
Doge.
Dogecoin to be everywhere. I love Elon Musk, such a great man, a visionary, a genius. I pray for him every day. He's on my prayer. Oh, I love him so much. I
That's,
must print a photo of him.
yeah, yeah. Print it and put it under the
Yeah,
Rusnik.
yes, Saint Elon. My boy, my boy.
um,
Such handsome person.
um,
I like him.
oh my goodness.
His eyes are so beautiful.
Yeah, they're so full of life, right? Can tell you're Ukrainian with the eyebrows. Yeah, we can tell you're Ukrainian.
And Lisa says funny, not funny. Yeah, I get it. I'm just
Like
it's
funny.
just like when you're almost going insane from the level of crazy shit, and
Yeah,
you're like,
yeah.
yeah, let's at least joke.
Let's at least joke about
This
it.
is how I
Yeah,
survive all the
absolutely.
time.
Oh, Rick is here. Hey, Rick. So Rick said he would try to join if he can, or like join chat if he can. So welcome, Rick. Um, yeah. So one of the things that also happened, and I think this is where your work as a crisis intervention. Also, just sidetrack. My Ukrainian bracelet
It's
broke.
time to get a new one, I think.
I thank Nastia. Thank you. That is
You know,
very
like if
useful
you're sad,
information.
don't be sad.
Exactly. So Rick wants to know, where
I'm
are you
from
from?
Ukraine. The greatest, the
No, he knows
greatest
that, but he
city
means
of
where.
Fastiv, 72 kilometers from Kiev, and close to Zhytomyr Oblast, close to Biła Cerkva. So Fastiv, I can, Fastiv starts with F, like F, pay respect, Fastiv.
Okay,
Yeah,
awesome.
I love my
Awesome.
city so much. It's the best one.
That's the thing that I've noticed about a lot of Ukrainians is you guys really love your
Yeah, because like
hometowns.
everything, like the roots of love and the love that is flowing through me has come from the city of Fasti, where you have no shopping centers, and I was basically growing a child in the nature. This is how I became such wise person in my young years. Yeah, Fasti. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Yeah. So Rick is from
Oh,
Makivka.
so we are basically like yeah, Makivka.
Yes, in Makivka.
If I'm not wrong,
But he lives in Kiev now.
my stepdad, he spent 2 years in Horlivka. So like I don't know. I think like
Ah.
Horlivka is not that far from Makiyivka, but it might be. But yeah, Makiyivka is in Donetsk region. I did not happen to be in Donetsk, sadly. Not in Donetsk, not in Lugansk. My very close friend is from Lugansk, so I know about Luhansk a lot.
Yeah, so Rick says Horlivka is close.
Yeah, they even sound the same. This ending like Makiyivka, Horlivka. It's something very special for Ukraine.
Yeah. So I remember a while ago, this was because I follow you on Twitter, and then like I kind of like have my times. I coordinate like, oh, this was before this, or this was after this. So before the drone attack, okay, you posted that one of your teenagers tried to
Oh
commit
yeah, that was a
suicide.
crazy experience.
And being a teenager is difficult enough, but I think being a refugee is even more. And before I ask that, Rick asks if you're burning out. Like, do you have burnout?
I can say that this year has been very difficult for me. Like 23 has been very difficult, and 25, 24 was so. And despite in 24 I have changed my team, in 25 I simply have like some funding issues, and I have run off of my savings, and I have sold lots of my stuff. Not selling my ass. I'm not like some of those politicians. I'm like yeah. Yeah, and it's really difficult because I came to see some realities of how big money are made on charity projects, and I feel a little bit a dumb, naive puppy for what I believed is important. But I can say I came to understand that basically I'm happy with the life I have when I have like where to sleep, some money for food, for medicine, and like to continue my activity.
Yeah. I think that is the big thing, right? For a lot of us, it's kind of like volunteering does not pay well. But also quitting this job isn't something that is like I think my mom in the past has told me like just step away for a bit. I'm like, I can't.
Not possible.
I can't. And it's not a thing of like I think the world is going to collapse if I don't. Or if I do step away. It's not something like that. It is the thing of this is such an integral part of my life that it's not something that I can just be like, oh yeah, let's just go on holiday for like a week, leave my phone and my laptop here and not do anything, not look. I will go
It
insane
also gives you a sense
because
of control, and it helps you fight with helplessness. Because the majority of us, when we are witnessing all this historical stuff, we simply feel helpless. Because one casual citizen, what can they do? And
yeah.
for me, taking an active part, it helps me fight this feeling of what the fuck is going on? The world is crazy. I don't know how to deal with it. Like and this is how I'm dealing with it. Yeah, I just, when many people are saying, yeah, what should we do? I'm so afraid. I just say like, yeah, we do this, that, you do that, I do this, call that guy, and we do that, and like, mm, I can't say. Maybe I have always been in a way like that. Yeah,
Mm. Oh my word, Rick just gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, Rick.
he's a phoenix now.
Thank you.
Phoenix, it's a,
He's a
like
phoenix.
stuff to joke about burnout in volunteers.
Very true.
Right, it's like a phoenix. And let's go back to
um,
suicide stuff. Sorry.
yeah, let's go back to this. We are terrible. We
I'm
are
disgusting,
terrible.
like really. Uh,
It's like the dark Ukrainian humor. I'm telling you, it's
like it
we have it. So the thing, interesting thing in Afrikaans, we call it galge humor, right? Which literally translates as the galg is how they used to hang people, you know? So it's humor for when you are being hanged. So humor for when you are basically, it's like humor that's like close to death because it's so dark. It's only funny when you're in that desperate
this
situation.
joke is very close to the rope, and the rope goes around my neck. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Um,
So
so yeah, suicide. Let's talk about.
yeah, it was actually it's a very simple case because like he was taken to from Ukraine to Poland by his mom, and back in
Mhm,
time he was 17 years old and he became a construction worker. He could have been studying in school, but he had to provide for
mhm,
himself, and he works 6 days a week. And it was a very very difficult job because he was working on height, like high in the sky, doing stuff.
mhm, mhm,
And the like, you know, abusive family. Uh, no connections here, no like close people, and he got into an accident with a car, and he was simply afraid he won't be able to do it. And the issue was that I was busy at the time. I was at the meeting, and he called, and we had like to sort it out with the police. And he gave me this information that, oh, I'm going to attempt suicide. And then he said, it's now okay, but I'm not gonna answer the phone, I'm busy. And I was like, no, little fuck, this is not how it's going. You can't just throw stuff like that. And
yeah.
because he has this insurance as a Ukrainian in Poland,
Mhm,
we sorted it out with police, and he was taken to hospital. And he didn't spend like there lots of time, half of the night, because I didn't know how to help him, because he needs therapy and he can't afford it because he works like 10 or 12 hours a day, and there is no therapist who works at night. And like that's very easy. He can't benefit from anything we offered because like his work schedule is unstable, and because of it even I can't afford lots of stuff for him, because like I try not to go deep into the one-to-one interventions,
mhm,
and because I try to find them a steady source of support, like a foundation that offers counseling, a group therapy, or whatever. Because like I'm really busy with. He's now, thanks God, he's 18 years old finally. Yeah, and he simply works a lot. And when it's his only day off, yeah, he likes to like do some dumb teenage stuff. Like he's doing really great because he has been for providing for himself alone for lots of time, and he has been a construction worker before, so it's like um,
mhm,
very complicated household. and then he has been basically taken and then thrown to Poland, and that's all. Like he couldn't even attend all of our meetings because he was working, and that's maybe the most sad thing I see, that sometimes when it's not his case but some other cases, when parents are very overwhelmed, or like when they can't work that much, or it's like any other situation when a parent is not able to fully take care of the family, the kid needs to grow up very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of the most painful experiences, because later in life they are going like to find this some childhood experience for themselves. And the most painful thing is because it is them not studying. They do not attend the school, they are not going to university, and they are not able, there are like no support programs for them,
Mm.
because like in reality the support program is to get like some free housing, at least a free room for them and their parent. And they're not able because like it's very difficult here. And it's also very, it's a much more hostile atmosphere in small towns. So like I'm not surprised they want to go to big cities. Yeah, so like it was what I have mm, witnessed lately, that children have to give up on education. And I'm not saying
Yeah.
like university, I'm saying like basic school stuff.
Like basically high school and yeah.
And sometimes when I talk to them about basic school knowledge, nothing.
Yeah. And I think that's and we touched on it a bit earlier in the stream. Like these kids had COVID and then they
Yeah,
had invasion.
yeah, I remember. You know, like I had a very severe case of a family with two kids. They were the same age, and at the time they were 12 and 13, like 12 and then 13, and they did not go to school for a year or so during the COVID, and they were studying at home. It means like no progress. And thanks Rick. Rick said that he likes what I say. And
He's probably going to invite you to be a guest soon on his stream.
it for two of those, it has been almost 3 years out of the educational system, and it's in the very important period of their growth where, like, you
Mm.
know, it's completely disrupt this process of growing up.
Mm.
And I don't know what is going to happen to them, because like it's not really that bad for a young man to go to construction work for a couple of years. But at the same time, this kid who has been a construction worker for 1.5 year, his his back is like in a very
Mm.
bad shape. And I'm, as my supervisor, you know, like the bigger psychologist shot, who
Mm-hmm.
psychologist boss, who, like, you know, she gives me some advices on what to do and what not to do. And she says that it's a very dangerous for young women, because they're like no education, no
Mm-hmm.
understanding what they want, and it's much more difficult for them to provide for themselves, and they're easy to take advantage of. So like
Mm-hmm.
more abusive marriages, more young pregnancies, more situations of like where the child is not wanted but it's, you know, forced
Mm-hmm.
to be born. It's a very complicated issue, and it's gonna generate lots of cost for country. It doesn't matter which one, but it's gonna cost a lot. So it's, yeah, like getting a school education is an important thing. And I can't even get really angry towards their parents, because I don't know in which shape I would be if I would be a single
Mm-hmm.
mom, for example.
Yeah. I think that's like the thing. We all think we know what we will do in a situation until we are
No,
in that
mm-mm.
situation. No, like I generally people are like, "Oh yeah, you should do this instead. You should do this," but you don't know
No, no,
what you
no,
will
no,
do
no.
when you're in
People
that
just say
situation.
it. People just say it to fight their fear, to really imagine how it's could be for them, because in reality people are really afraid to think of a situation in which they are really powerless or helpless, because
Mm.
it's a very vulnerable state. So people, yeah. Oh, and my pastor said COVID was really bad for our African American kids he works with. Most of their parents essential workers, so kids home alone and didn't do online school. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
How old are you, Nastia? Rick
I'm
also
not.
wants to know
I'm
that.
26. I'm
26.
26. I'm young, wild, and free.
Yeah, say that with more excitement because no one believes you.
I'm young and I'm wild and I'm free, guys. I'm like so crazy happy about my life. Yeah, like I wake up every day and I think like maybe today more Russians are going to die.
Wait, that's what we live for.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my word, YouTube's gonna ban us so badly.
Bye bye YouTube. Mwah.
No, we are just dedicated to making good Russians, okay?
Yeah, we're just trying to help. We helping Russians become the best versions of themselves. Yeah, yeah, Rusuris.
Sorry.
Yeah, like we just a self-help program for Russians. Like becomes the best version of yourself.
That's some good merch ideas right there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like a self-help book for Russians. How to
Yeah.
become better version of yourself. Just donate to Rusuris and.
Yeah, I don't know. So I think, yeah, Lisa, on what you said, like the essential workers, the parents are essential workers, so the kids are home alone and then do online school. And I think on top of that, and Nastya, you will understand this way better than I do, but the importance of interacting with your peers as a child during your teenage years or even younger is so important for your socialization skills and your social development. Um,
It's a
so
real tragedy if you think about the development of a human being, of a human as a part of society. Missing interacting with your peers is just simply, it's not just some abstract concepts. It's really gonna apply to how a brain is
mhm,
developing. It's really gonna be seen even on the MRI scans or like PET scans. You're gonna see
mm,
how it's different from those who were growing up in different situations. And I can say that COVID on itself, like China must pay for it, like really pay, because 2 years of schooling at home. School is not only about education. School is basically a training camp before the adult life. At least it should be. If you're not that smart at math, just go find a friend and just try to create a connection where you can both benefit from it. If you don't understand biology, maybe the teacher is willing to help you.
mm,
Or if you're bad at the physical stuff, like the training, maybe you will benefit from being a great art student, and then
mm,
teacher will help you get a better mark because they know that you're such talented. Blah, blah, blah.
mm,
So when you're missing school, you're not only not learning about geography, you're missing the chance to train yourself, exist in a society with rules, and your brain is missing the right stimulation. And you're basically, I don't know, it's like getting a plant and giving it very little light, very little nutrients, and then it grows dull. It's dull or dull, I don't know,
dull.
it's dull. It's not like it's pale and it's
Mm,
not that bright. And of course it can overcompensate later, but it's not gonna be the same. It's basically bad for development of the brain and for all human body, and basically like being regulated by the presence of others is an important skill, like being able to
mm,
tolerate others, being able to sit in a class, being able to focus not spending your time on Reels or on TikTok, but spending time with other human beings is an essential human skill that is important to benefit later, to build a successful life, a happy life. And taking this from children is a real crime. I'm not talking like, COVID is another topic, but taking this from children is basically taking their future off from them. Like you're taking those resources they could have gotten by taking part in the educational system. And like, I don't know, like Russia is gonna pay for it billions of billions, because to compensate for it, one child like really needs a great net of support, and some of them with developmental issues, like for example those on autistic spectrum or those with ADHD, they're gonna need much more. And like that's the fact that parents gonna get those resources. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
I can talk
that's the
like
one thing.
a lot about it because it's something I think about all the time. It's,
Constantly, yeah.
it's like been rolling over in my head. Like
Mm.
imagine a very big cat, and this cat is like playing with lots of balls all the time, like small balls, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like and it's how my head looks like. But I have like maybe 100 of those cats, and they're playing all the time, and each one is following 10 other topics. Yeah, and this is how it is. And I'm trying to do what I can with
Mm.
limited resources of mine. Like I can give you like a secret knowledge nobody
Mm-hmm.
knows, but we're gonna announce it soon. We are trying to gather some partners and friends, and we want to create with our team a Polish Ukrainian youth center to
Mm-hmm.
benefit both Polish and Ukrainian youth, and to basically give them a third space, a place where they
Mm.
can come whenever they want to, like from 1 p.m. to 8 p.m., and they can do their lessons there. They can play board games, they can cook, they can make some drama classes if they want, and they will receive crisis support right at the place. Not on the phone,
Mm-hmm.
like, hello, I want to die, but like in person. You want to die, and you're like, yeah, hey, lady, I want to die, do something about it.
Hello, I want to die.
Yeah, no on the phone, like only in person.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's a great idea, and that's what I have been thinking a lot. Like it's something that has like all of my experience, all of my ideas,
Mm.
they have crystallized in this shape. And I think it's really difficult if I come to some sponsors and say like, don't you want to support, if not Ukrainian, you can support Polish children that have suicidal thoughts. Who's gonna say no? Huh?
Yeah.
Who's gonna say no? What a sick fuck is going to say no to suicidal kids? But it's like it's not a joke, because I think maybe every eighth Polish teenager, they have suicidal thoughts.
Mm.
Yeah, and that's how it goes. Like it's not a something that exists in vacuum. And suicide is actually not the biggest problem. The biggest problem is that those children, they are growing, and they must learn how to deal with their emotions, and they must find
Mm.
support, because if they won't be beneficial to society. So like less taxes, less money for the government. I don't know, I'm trying to motivate them to get those money. um, and for me it's just, I have always been dreaming about a place like that when I was a teenager, but it
Mm.
was impossible in a city of mine, trust me. And I hope we are going to win. And if we are not, we're just going to force people to help us win.
Yeah,
That's how it
absolutely.
does.
So David N says, "Hey, I stumbled across a pro-Russian channel not so long ago. She is from Spain, I
Spain?
think. Spain. Okay, cool. Just checking. Liu Savia. She had many viewers watching her propaganda. You know what, David? That's actually
Oh. But like, you don't know whether those guys are like real or not.
that's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Um, and it's actually like I think I don't know who did it, but some other publication did an article, did a piece on how Russia is basically establishing influencers in every
Yeah.
single language, every major world language. And it's the same content. They just have it in different languages. And I've seen it some in they've started doing it in South Africa, but they only focus on doing it in English. But then we will go and we will look up, okay, where was this first mentioned? And we'll see, oh no, it was first mentioned in this Sputnik article. And then it was from Sputnik, it went to a place in Nigeria. And then eventually it trickled its way down to South Africa. So a lot of these things, like there's one on Twitter called Sasha Meets Russia, where
Oh my God, no.
her name's not even Sasha. She's not even Russian. She's
Yeah,
like some American chick. But she has this whole thing where she like pretends to be a Slavic girl. And that's like an interesting thing because Russians try to claim everything Slavic. They claim to be Slavic so that later they can claim everything Slavic as Russian.
yeah, yeah.
Um, so kind of whenever you see like the whole Slavic girl aesthetic that they do on TikTok, I know this thing on TikTok. If you look at it, it's just whitewashing Russian genocide, you know? Um, but yeah, David, that is why thank you so much for being here, because the way to counter this propaganda is by actually telling people what's really going on and by making sure that authentic voices who actually, and I'm not like trying to hype myself up or hype up Project Constantine, but Rick is in chat, so he's cooler than I am. So you can go watch his streams, because I'm not going to hype myself up. So you can go watch Rick's streams. He's way cooler than I am. But yeah, it's why people are so like
Too many cool kids at this place, like, you know.
I mean, we even have you here. We have too many cool people.
Yeah, you know, it's like I always wanted to be in such a place with lots of cool people, and it's like going back to high school, but
Yeah.
you know, hanging out with really nice guys.
The cool people. Same. Yeah, so I think one of the things that I heard it somewhere where oh, it was the movie that I told you about, the director who directed the film Under the Volcano. He wasn't able to attend the film festival itself, so he sent like a recorded video for us. And he said one of the things that stuck out to him when he was doing the research on this film was he spoke to a woman who said, "I never thought I would become a refugee." And I think that's the thing that nobody wakes up when nobody is like a kid and they're like, when I grow up, I want to be a refugee.
Jesus
You know?
Christ, one of the worst thing you can like choose for yourself. Choose.
Yeah.
Because being a
Choose yourself.
refugee
Yeah.
is basically mm, I don't know how to compare it. It's not uncomparable. It's like you can't even compare it to animals who are living in a zoo. It's like something that's completely different. It's like taken and thrown away, you know, like not being bombed and not being tortured and killed, but not any great experience.
Yeah. And it's weird to think about it like oh, like I remember I was speaking to one of my friends and she was like someone was calling her, you know, like yeah, you Ukrainians have white privilege. And she's like, what kind of white privilege is it being bombed and genocided? And he's like, no,
Oh,
historically.
we
And she's
we
like, no,
we
let's look at
slave
the
we
history.
Slavs, we have this white experience that the word the slave has originated from being Slav or
Yeah,
being
yeah.
sold.
She was telling him that, and he's like, yeah, but, and she's like, no, don't yeah, but me. And then eventually she like just told him, I'm like, I'm gonna stop talking to you. But it's a thing where you know, people often have this concept of what a refugee is and what they look like. And um, if you don't fit that mold, it's difficult, I think, in
It's
a
like
way.
people want to think in boxes, and sometimes,
Yeah.
mm, Ukrainians, they did not run away from being poor. We were running from
Mm.
bombs. And there are many people who became successful because they were successful in Ukraine. So they were able to become successful. But many people have lost their quality of life.
Mm.
And there is a great chance they will never get back to it. And quality of life is not about being, living a fancy life. It's about not being a burden to the economy and contributing to your country you live in prosperity. So, like, being a refugee is, it's again, it's about the media, how media shapes the narrative.
Mhm.
There were many Polish refugees in, I guess, where in India or in Africa during the Second World War.
Yeah, some of them came here.
Yeah, and they were all white. Like, yeah, it's I don't know, being white never protected me from Russians because Russians, they treat everyone equally. Like, they hate all of us equally.
I love that. Like, just like that's like the perfect clip to just be like being white never protected me from Russians. Um,
Yeah, yeah, it really doesn't matter. Like, if you're white, they will find a way to abuse it. They will tell others that you're not a real refugee. If you're black, they will call you a slur. If you're an Asian, they will do something else.
mhm.
It's just what they're up to. And once again, it's about the narrative because the narrative was narrowed down to people from Middle East and how they are abusing the system in Europe and how they are bad and stuff.
Mm.
But before war in Middle East, like which one? Great question. But before war in Syria
Hmm.
and Syrian revolution, if I'm not wrong, there have been refugees. They have been all the time because like the
Mhm.
war has been around all the time, and it has never been like um, refugee something new. No, like Ukrainians have been refugees for a very long time in different places. I myself come from refugee descent because my great great grandfather comes from the city of Erzurum. It's now a Turkish city, but it has been an Armenian city, and he was fleeing the Armenian
Armenian
genocide. Yeah,
genocide.
so I'm basically myself a refugee descent, and he was running. He was very successful in that, and he showed up
What,
in
in running
Ukraine.
from the genocide? Sorry.
Yeah, 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 yeah. He was a success. It was a success. He was in Ukraine, and he was like, "Yeah,
Oh my word. Yeah. So you're a generational refugee, is what you're telling
yeah, yeah. Just like many Ukrainians, they have one genocide card in their pocket, and I have two genocides pocket cards in my pockets. Yeah,
me. Oh my goodness.
yeah, and that's it. Like, you never know who were your great grandparents, what they were running
Mm,
from, and you never
yeah.
know if you won't become a refugee. Like, everything is unstable. It needs a
Mm,
real wisdom and a talent, a skill, to
mm,
find this stability and to provide it to others, to show people that they can enjoy life right here right now, and that even if they are not sure whether it's like tomorrow is going to come, they can like enjoy really small things. Because if not, we are
mm.
all going to get fucking crazy and end up in psychiatric
And
ward.
there are
not
not enough
not
psychologists for
not a bad place. Like, going to psychiatry hospital is a great choice if you need it. Yeah, I deeply recommend it. It have been there myself. Like, 5 stars out of 5.
Yeah, no, I mean it's crazy. And I think you touch on an important thing is the world is so crazy. Like I was about to make the same comment where you say America is a nation of generational refugees. I'm like, yeah. Um, my grandparents escaped communist China. I had 6 kids, like a generational protest. That is good. That is
That
good.
is good. Great for them. They were very good at escaping communist China. Let's
And
shake our
protesting the
heads.
one-child policy. They were like, screw this one-child policy. We're gonna
Yeah.
have 6. um, but yeah, I think you touched on a very important thing, where we often it's very easy, like looking at the world and looking at what's going on and being like, there is no hope.
Yeah. It's
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 what
it's
they want
very
you to believe. Every time,
exactly.
every time I feel bad, I remind myself, those companies, they invest billions of bucks and they want me to feel like I'm ugly, I'm dumb, I'm poor, I'm helpless, I'm useless. This is what they want. They want us to my mother fled to America to get away from her family. Oh, I kind of can get it, like, trust me. um, and this is how it goes. Like, they invest lots of money
Mhm,
for 10 of years. For, like, Russia have been doing it for 50 years already. I'm not that old,
mhm,
despite I might look like not that fresh. Yeah. And that is what they want you to believe in.
mhm,
And they want us to be atomized, they want us to be alone, and they want us to, like, lose any hope. This is
mhm.
their goal. This is what they benefit from. Like, every time you feel like that, remind yourself that someone is earning money on you feeling like this.
Okay, that is different than my advice, because my advice is, even if we change one life, it was worth it. You're like, no one will earn money on me feeling
Yeah, like,
shit.
fuck off, you Russian piece of shit. I'm not gonna let you earn. Like, I'm gonna tell my kids that everything is gonna be nice. We're gonna somehow find the way out of it. And, like, you can't really, even with great money, you can't save all people at the time.
Mhm,
Like, because to save a life, you need, like, some consistent work and you need to be present. So it's a complicated stuff. So let your existence on its own be an act of rebellion. Like, yeah, if Russia wants us uh, wants us to feel hopeless, let's, like, be full of hope. And if they want us to lose any hope, let us, like, find hope even in very small things.
mhm. So kind of have your life, live your life in protest of someone kind
Yeah,
of
basically,
taking that
like,
joy.
living,
Yeah.
actually, a Ukrainian living a life is a
An
criminal
act of
act.
protest.
Yeah, it's very bad for Russian. Like, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
happy, I'm alive, I do what I can, I speak Ukrainian language, I I take care of Ukrainian youth, I meet with my fellow Ukrainians. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I do not know enough about Russia. Um
I know enough, sadly. I wish I could
I,
erase it.
yeah, that's the thing. It's like I wish I could re-raise it. Like honestly. Um I mean, I know like in the cities like there, like in Moscow and St. Petersburg, if you're not considered an ethnic Russian, so if you're not white, then it's um you're not getting an apartment. And Rick says same shit. I resist at least by living.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think that's an important thing. It's like um it's kind of like I feel like for Ukrainians, your entire existence is an act. Your entire existence is an act of resistance. Um, oh my word, Laura N.
Yes, it's this how it goes for you. I'm very happy to see you here. It's like
You missed it because Nastia only
I
posted about it
yeah,
like
yeah.
2 minutes
I'm
before
sorry
we
I'm
started.
late. I'm late once again.
It's okay,
And
but you can like go back and watch the stream. it's been a
yeah,
vibe.
2 hours of me talking with Yana, it's an
Uh,
amazing experience. If my parents knew English, I would send it to them But I
You
will
can
send
still
it to
send it to
others.
them. Here's the thing: you can still send it to them because YouTube starts dubbing. Um, yeah,
So
YouTube has started to dub English,
so
and
I will be
Halina.
able to send it to my grandpa and say, "Look, I speak English." Amazing, because he still doesn't believe I speak English.
Yeah, you can send it, and how I know this is Halina sent me a link to one of our streams. So she's like, "Since when do you speak?" She's like, "Haha, you speak Ukrainian funny," but it was like AI me speaking Ukrainian with like a dubbing. And I'm like, okay, okay. And then I went back and I saw I went into the settings and I saw like Russian is also an option for dubbing. And I'm like, remove.
Yeah, remove Russian from the
So I
plan.
removed Russian, but Ukrainian is there. So you can send it to your family and they can watch it.
Yeah,
You'll
yeah,
have to
it's
see.
it's going to like make me feel better because they will look at me for 2 hours straight. I will be like kind of present in their lives.
That's true. That's true. Um, yeah. Anyway, guys, do you have any questions for Nastia?
Any questions? I'm going to answer all of them, even if you ask me like,
I
you
do
know,
want to
some
remind you
predictions.
guys. I do want to remind you guys. Uh, Nastia has her organization. You can like chip in like $3, $5, whatever.
You can
There,
also follow us on Facebook, on Instagram. You
you're
can
on
send
Instagram,
us.
but it's not on your. Okay,
I will add it.
I'll
I
check.
just you can
Add it to your
find us.
link tree. Add
Yeah,
it to your link tree.
and if you're like not into donating, you can also send us something. And for example, my friend from US, he orders some sweets from
Oh yeah.
Polish deliveries service, and they help him to pay for it, and then those sweets, they are delivered to the children's place. And you can send us wherever you want, like, you know, like everything, like some, just ask me, maybe some board games, or you can send us some special stuff from your region, because we once received stuff from Canada, and we received stuff from US, and we received stuff from France, and it was simply, you know, it's amazing because uh, I just want to remind you that Ukrainians, they often don't know that there are so many supporters out there,
Mm.
especially if those people are not connected to volunteers, because casual soldiers, they also don't know that many people support Ukraine. They're just, you know, people are busy living their lives, and here kids in Poland, they're like, they're also like, no, it's always
Mm.
really impressive when people send us something, even a postcard or like some, I don't know, photos from where you live. You know, it's just like, wow,
Mm.
like for me it's still impressive that the Yana lives is like so fucking far away, and like she
Traveling
knows
takes
me.
me. Getting to Ukraine takes me 2 days.
Yeah, yeah, and like if someone is asking games, like board games, I don't know, like something special regional, it doesn't matter whether it's food or like some stuff, or like I don't know, whatever,
Mm.
something from your region. And like it's really impressive because like internet is one of the best things that had ever been created,
Yeah.
and also the worst, but
One
of
of the
course the
worst, yeah.
best. Yeah.
I also wants to know red or green borscht.
Red, but I would like to eat green right now because my family cooks really good green borscht, but I haven't eaten it like very long time ago. I eat
So
all varieties of borscht, just cook it for
I've
me.
had, I'm very proud to say, when I was in Ukraine, I had red, green, and white borscht.
Damn, you have collected the three most
I
powerful
know.
Pokemons.
It's it's like Infinity Stones of borscht.
Yeah, yeah, three Pokemons of power.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm like, yeah, I've had borscht. I've had like all the types.
Three of them.
Yeah. Um, yeah, so I don't know. Guys, just a reminder, we also have raffles going on with Project Constantine. We have a signed RPG 22. Oh, Laura wants to know how your cousin is doing.
Oh, my cousin, like it's a very long story. I can talk to everyone and discuss this story. Like my father, my stepdad, he was in the military in 2015 and 16. Then he did not sign again the contract, and he was only on like I don't know how you call it, but like trainings once a time.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, he was at home. And back in 2029, my cousin, my female cousin, not the male one, she joined this brigade, and she's a medic. And at the beginning of the full scale invasion, my female cousin was in the army, and my dad was like, he knew that it's gonna happen, and he was actually back. Like, the day it has started, he was like with his weapon and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
my male cousin, who is a brother to my
Mm-hmm.
female cousins, their brother and sister, he was like, am I gonna be the one in family who is not in the military? Am I a loser or something? Am I like
A
like a
coward.
coward? Yeah, like.
Yeah.
And he has joined the assault brigade, and he has been in it for almost maybe less than a year. And he
Mm-hmm.
got injured, and after that he was like trying to move to another brigade because he was not able to like run quickly anymore. And he was moved to 101st brigade, and for a year he was in that mobile fire group that shoots
Mm-hmm.
down shaheds. And
Mm-hmm.
we have raised the money for cars, for those big lights, like big
Mm-hmm.
light,
Yeah.
for thermal stuff to see them drones,
Mm-hmm.
for stuff to like to shoot to see them down, and lots of stuff for that. And after that, he was like, he got promoted. It's not like he wanted it. It's like, if you're smart enough, you will be promoted. It's like, no
Yeah.
way. And now he's taking care of he's like completing new brigades, and
Mm-hmm.
then he's sending them east. Actually, I did not contact with him for some long time because I was really exhausted, and like he's going
Mm-hmm.
through some rough shit because like being a responsible guy is it's really difficult. And sometimes he says to me like, sometimes I want to go back to being a casual soldier because
Mm-hmm.
like being in charge is very difficult for him, and he tries to like make good decisions, but sometimes it's really difficult. And now he can't have his family close to him because it's really dangerous in Kiev. And that's how it goes. Like his daughter is okay. I'm her mother, like godmother.
Godmother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
uh, and that's how it is. Yeah, so basically he's doing okay. Like he's safe and sound. He has some serious problems with his health, and I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to make him to go to psychologist, but it's no use. Like he simply doesn't have any time. uh, from good stuff, my female cousin, uh, last year on the 21st of September, she gave birth to a baby boy. And this year, my friend, she's a friend of my uh, fallen friend Kirilla, and she's also a military one. And she also gave birth, and also to the baby boy, and on the same day, on also 21st of September. So like two military baby boys who were born on the same day. So like there are some good news and some bad news. And that's it. Like we have lots of very distant relatives who are fighting, and this year I have also a very distant relative who has been killed, like very distant. I have seen him once or something like that, but he has been killed and he has been fighting. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I mean, new new question from Rick. What is your favorite vareniki filling?
Do you know what is potrocha?
No.
Rick knows.
Rick
Potrocha
knows,
is like,
obviously.
it's like insides of a chicken or like any other
Okay.
animals, and it's
Okay.
like cut in small pieces,
Uh-huh.
and it's like, heart or
Yeah, yeah.
stuff
We
like
have
that.
that in South Africa too.
Yeah, I love it. Like, I'm crazy about it.
Okay. Rick says also it would be great to meet you here in Kiev if you want. I don't know if he's telling you that or if he's telling IJ like that. I don't know.
It would be nice. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know. I have like some issues with my Polish documents now, so I need to fix it, and I think I'm going to come maybe on my birthday in February.
Okay. Okay.
So
Awesome.
yeah,
Okay,
I
he
need
says
to I
it
need to write it
includes you as
down.
well. Okay. Yeah. When you're there, let us know and then yeah. I'm also probably going back to Ukraine in February, January or
Oh,
February. Just need to save up money. Yes.
yeah, the road for you is very pricey. Like, I can't even imagine.
Yeah. There was recently this thing that got exposed where it's basically a whole bunch of banks got together and basically decided that the South African currency to devalue our currency. So it's basically 10 rand or 12 rand more. It's like double or triple what it should be valued at. So they just basically got together and decided to undervalue our currency to screw us over.
Is it like even legal?
No, it's not. So now they're being taken to court. And one of
That's
the banks
crazy.
has a history of doing that. I'm like, damn, okay. But I'm also like, oh, it's gonna be like all my software is gonna be cheaper. Like my Adobe subscription is gonna be cheaper, my Google subscription, my Microsoft subscription, but then also my salary is gonna be less.
No, that's crazy. Like, it reminds me. No, I don't even know how to compare it. Like, it sounds kind of apocalyptic. Bank to tell you like your money is just not that worthy. Bye.
Yeah, it is crazy. And when people found out about it, they were like, oh damn, you mean this is what we would be paying? And people were like absolutely pissed. So how old is your cousin?
My cousin, I guess, like, he's 30. He's already 30. Yeah.
Already, I'm
Oh
31.
no.
So what do you mean with already 30?
I'm just no. He's 20. If he's 29, I guess. Like, I always forget because I joke all the time that he's an old ass, because he's going bald, and I'm like, I'm a very bad person. And no, he's 30. I remember it. Because you know what's funny? I know the age of his wife, but not his. Like, it's more important for me because he's the mother of my daughter, like goddaughter.
Yeah,
How do you call it? Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, that's how I remind myself how old is he. He used to be
I
he used to be so young. He had lots of hair. Yeah, it was a very long time ago. I still love him anyway. And his
that's
wife
good.
still love him anyway. We love him anyway.
That's I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
no,
glad that your love for your cousin is not tied to his hair.
he has like very little hair here, but he like has a great beard.
Oh, okay. Okay, so he's going the full Ukrainian military style.
Yeah. Like, he
A
looks
lot of
very
the
good
guys
though.
we talk to, they're like, we'll shave our beard after the war. And we're like, okay.
And he and
But then
his
one of them shaved his beard, right? One of them, because he was growing it, and then he shaved it. And Halina and I were like, but now you look like a baby. And then we
yeah,
realized that these guys are like 23, 24.
yeah. That's like
And
that
we're
was
like,
my friend was like
yeah.
he's like
Because we were like, oh no, he's like late 20s, early 30s, shaves the beard. We're like, you're a baby.
that's how it goes. And like
Yeah.
my goddaughter, like
Hmm.
my cousin's daughter, she likes to take his beard and try to rip it off, and it's their ritual because she loves it a lot, and he likes to suffer. I don't know, maybe it's just how she knows that's daddy, like, this beard.
Oh, that is so cute. That is so
Yeah,
cute.
she's progressing a lot. Like, Maybe he will go bald on his Caesarea too if she continues to do it.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Um, how old are his kids?
He has one kid, and it's 2 years old. And my female cousin, she has a son, and he's 1 year old. So they're basically little ones.
Yeah. I mean, I think it must be difficult. Um, I'm just trying to think from like a stress perspective kind of thing. I driven to help. Thank you for being here. I think your name is Warren on Facebook. I think if I scroll up, I'll find it. But thank you for being here. It was nice to have you in chat. And please tune in next time and also watch Rick. He's live way more times than I am. So I can't imagine like the um how living under this constant stress and this constant bombardment, what effect that has on early childhood development.
Uh, as like from the psychological point of view, it all comes to how the parents react. So if
Hmm.
parents are able to be mm, like not
Calm
not
and
not calm, but like they're regulated, they react to
yeah, yeah.
stressors, then they cool down and they provide the needed support for the child, everything goes like not the same as in the safe situations. It's gonna
Mm,
be really different. It's gonna affect how the brain is developed, but it all goes to how the primal caregiver feels like. It all goes to mom. It's usually mom, but and it's very important because if you want to work with a very young child, for example,
mm,
1 to 3 years old, it almost never is about the child. It's about giving stabilizing the parent, like the mother,
mm,
and that's how it works. And of course it's gonna affect the brain development, but it all comes to how the community feels, how the family feels. So it all comes down to like how separate communities deal with it. So it's not like we can just give a specific drug or like a specific
mm,
technique to this kid or their mother. It's a very complex thing about how they digest the grief or how they digest the danger, how it flows through their surroundings and how the environment in the family is shaped.
mm. I think that is you're so wise. It's so nice because like these are questions I've been wondering about for a long time. And I'm like, oh, cool. Finally have someone here to ask.
I have spent like 6 years in university, like
To get this knowledge.
yeah, and this is how it goes like it's really is um, complicated because um, Russia has been abusing and destroying our communities for a very long time,
Hmm.
and every time, like there was a genocide, and before the genocide there was the first world war and was a revolution, and they established their communist shithole, and then there was a holodomor, and then was a second year world war, and and then was like a period of hunger after the world war, and then the Stalin dies, and like communities in communist period, communities, they were basically banned because you it's like gathering together was basically banned. It
Hmm.
was illegal, and it was like people would be asking you questions like, what are you doing together, guys? Like some protests. And if normally, if like without if without war, without occupation, without the experience of torture, uh, this stuff would have healed on its own
Mm,
if we as a society were allowed to prosper and to gather resources, like to build this generational wealth. And I'm not only talking about property and
Money,
money.
but yeah.
I'm talking about the resource of safety, of feeling grounded, and of experiencing that everything is okay and I'm not in danger. And this is how Russia basically. Sorry, this mosquito is bad. Like, go away. And
It's
this
like
is
Russia, that mosquito.
oh no, it's much. If Russia was a mosquito, it would be the size of Warsaw, I guess, like giant mosquito. And this is the most horrific thing, is that Russia has been affecting us on the level of our brain and body development for centuries, because they have been destroying connections between mother and child, between families, between communities, between grandparents and grandchildren. They have been creating a sense of danger inside the communities, and they have been forcing members of the same families to hate each other, to donos, I don't know, like to say that someone is guilty, or like
Mm.
to kill each other, and stuff like that. And now in every like critical situation, for example the earthquake, society needs its resources and its experience how it has been doing previously. But if you have been stripped of your resources for a long time, continually repeatedly, you know what I mean,
Repeatedly.
repeatedly, it's not going to be easy. And each time it's like, you know, if someone hits me and there is a wound, and I take like time, maybe 8 weeks to heal, but then there is still a weak place, and then I'm hit
Mm.
once again and once again. And even if I have resources and the best doctors in those 8 weeks, it still won't be able to heal fully. Like, I need the long time when I have an access to resources and when I
Mm.
have the support. And this is what basically happens with former colonies, and it what happens with South Africa, I guess. Like, you don't guys get a very long period of calm and safety. You have to deal with many issues, with disinformation, with people polarizing the society, and it's like being
So
constantly attacked.
the interesting thing about South Africa, right, is unlike most of the other countries that were colonized in Africa, um, we went from being a colony to minority rule, the apartheid system, and then we went to democracy, right? So Russia often pictures themselves as they're anti-colonizers, and we're like, no, but we were no longer a colony. Um, we had minority rule, which is something completely different. And even though there are still these wounds left over from colonialism, the much bigger wound we have is apartheid and the division that has sowed in society. So um, it's in that way it's weird, but South Africa is like a unique case study, if I can put it that way. Um, and it's only now that I'm starting to see like it's 31 years after the end of 31 years after our first democratic election. And it's only now that I'm starting to see kind of the change, and it's getting to a point where I can see, okay, there is um, hope in the sense of people who would not have had hope under apartheid now have have I don't even want to say privilege because it's a basic human right, right? So they finally, you can see like it took a few generations, and I mean by generations like 7 years. Like it took a few to get there. Um, so I'm like hopeful for the next 2 to 3 generations. I think that's when it will eventually be passed out, this trauma, but you can still see that trauma, and it is so easy for that um, nationwide trauma to be like someone just takes a match and it just ignites and everything's on fire again.
Yeah, yeah, like
And yeah,
to, those wounds can be easily abused. Like
Exactly. And
they
that's
will be
exactly what
abused.
happened.
Yeah.
It's happened in South Africa. There was a British public relations firm that was hired by like the super wealthy family to basically sow division in South Africa so that they could distract South Africans and take our money along with the former president. Okay?
You can't say
And
that it's something very rare.
that
What?
division then later was then furthered by Russia with their misinformation campaigns and their propaganda. So in a way, I feel like, the moment we as a society start to try and grow, you have like a power coming in being like, no, 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 we don't want you to heal. We want you to stay vulnerable. We want you to be wounded because then it's easier for us to manipulate you and to exploit you.
Actually, uh, how did they say in psychology? If you, for example, in an abusive relationship or someone
Mm,
is manipulating you, the moment you catch them and you name what is going on, this act loses its power. So
mm,
it's very important each time, for example, each time disinformation happens and you have an access to something like public, you just catch it and you name it, like, yes, these
mm,
guys are trying to abuse our wound from that historical experience. Despite it's a very traumatic experience right now, they are using it to their own advantage. They are not seeking the justice for us, for our society, for
mm,
those who were traumatized. They are seeking they are seeking use for their own purposes. It's
mm,
very important to name what is going on. This is why, when you call someone an abuser or when you call someone a liar, and or you just name what is going on, people like it's exploding. They're saying that you're a very bad person. That's very important. Not even to name it for public. It's important to name it in your head so that
mm.
you can trace how it influences different parts of life.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my word. I feel like all of us have gotten what, a 2 hour and 46-minute long psychology session for free, guys. This is
Hit me up.
insane. um, if you appreciated this, you can donate $5 to Nastia.
Yeah, help me run this charity so that I can take care of kids. So if you know they just want to commit suicide, I will just call them and say no, no, I'm on my way. Tell me where you are. I gonna get you, you little naughty.
You know what is it's interesting, and I've mentioned this on several streams, but it's something that stuck with me, right? There was a talk by this uh he's a lecturer at one of the universities here in South Africa. Um, and he he had a conversation about, Russia kidnapping children and then the global response to it, right? And he he said, so his name is Dr. Alvis Fakala. I will post the link to the video on our Discord if you guys want to go watch it. Um, and he basically said, um, there is one reason we all have to care about what happens to a child, and that is because childhood is the one shared experience we all have. No one became an adult without being a child first. And I think that is such an important thing. And a lot of people think like, oh, childhood, like we think we've kind of started to separate kids from teenagers, right?
Yeah, like we also treat.
Yeah.
It's a very different discussion that sometimes we don't treat kids as real human beings. They
Yeah.
are like are about to grow.
And I think that is an important thing to kind of notice that, or to kind of focus on that. Um, you know, these are children who need help. So, yeah. I want to thank all of you for being here, for caring, for listening. If you're watching the stream, like if you're watching it as a recording, thank you for watching it.
I'm doing my best.
There we go. Awesome. So, guys, you can follow Nastia on Twitter, and she's also on Blue Sky. And I'll just do her link tree here. Oh, wait. Nice. Keith has her link tree. My brain is done. So, guys, thank you so much for being here. Laura, and
Thank you
thank you,
so
Aina.
much, guys.
Yeah.
I finally had a space to talk as long as I want to, and I
You're
feel
welcome to
like
join
very
anytime.
prioritize. I'm really privileged to have this opportunity. Thank you, Yana. You're on the other side of the world, and it feels amazing to have such a long talk, and like all these people from different countries are seeing it. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, it's impressive.
it is awesome. It's really cool. This community is amazing. So you can tell your kids as well. Like, I'll send you the
Yeah,
analytics
I-
so you
I'm
can be
going
like,
to I'm going to force them to like these videos. Yeah, write something.
yeah. So thank you guys for being here. Nastia, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Yana. Thank you, Project Constantine. Everybody have a great weekend, and I also wish you to have discount on your favorite food at the market.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
Okay, cool. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.